Well, happy Tuesday. We originate where we typically originate. That would be Social Taco here in the square in Homewood. We're up top in the Taco Terrace, a place that has hosted many significant events in this show's history, including an awarding of a green jacket to Molly Robinson. We've been here for all-day election coverage this past November, and today, Pat, it will be the stage for 4 individuals trying to sell the Jox listeners, the Jox Nation, on their vision for the future for their individual football programs.
It's been well documented. You've got Don taking on Damian at 12:30. Only Landrum and I know the questions that are going to be asked. Then at 1 o'clock, it's going to be Conrad versus Bama Hater. Once again, Landrum and myself, the only 2 individuals that have seen the questions that will be bestowed upon the individuals today, and we'll get their answers. And we'll let the public vote. We'll have some Twitter poll questions coming up later in the program. Who won between the 2 debates? Will it be Don, Damian, Conrad, or Bama Hater?
And there's not a lot of fluff in these questions. I'll go ahead and let people know. We're going to get right to the point. We're going to get right to the heart of the arguments of all of these, we call them candidates today. Yeah, maybe.
Let's just say they're representatives of their brand.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
turn the camera.
Okay.
So.
Oh, well, Don's here early in full regalia.
All right, he's saying don't say nothing.
Oh,
he's trying to be secretive now.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that is something.
You look ready to go. Can you see in here with those on? Not really. Is that a little? Yeah, that's better. Okay.
All right, Don's got a costume on. I guess I call it a costume.
It is a costume.
Okay, it's a costume. I didn't know if maybe he wore that to the piano bar that he hosted.
Wow,
The little man does not know what he's in for.
He
The
just
little
said
man.
The little man has no idea what he's in store for.
Don is coming character today.
He ain't hurting my feelings. So I'm gonna hurt his.
Okay. Oh, you're going to hurt his. So are we going personal today? Not
Well,
really.
I feel like we
Not
already have.
really.
You've already insulted the man's stature. You've talked about his height.
You're going to keep it civil? Okay. I was about to say, it's really on Pat Landrum if things go off the rails.
This is great. We're 2 hours and 28 minutes away from your debate, and you are primed and ready. Don't waste all your good material here on the curvy couch.
The curvy couch.
Okay.
This is going to be great.
I hope so. Or
we should set up a pay-per-view. I feel like we missed that opportunity.
You can be here live at Social Taco in Homewood. The doors are going to open at 11 o'clock, and it's a mix-and-match combination tacos, the Mexican pizzas, the quesadillas, the burritos, the chicken feathers that Pat loves so much. Come and join us, socialtaco.bar for more information.
So I'm not sure if any of you – I know when we were in Atlanta, they gave us an opportunity to potentially watch the first episode of the Netflix series on the Southeastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that debuted, I think, at like 2, 3 o'clock this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And we've already got people that have watched the entire thing. And so the underlying theme that I'm getting from a lot of people is that a lot of people are disappointed. And the reason they're disappointed, the production value is outstanding. But the problem is that when you don't have 6 of your conference's biggest brands, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, Missouri, and Oklahoma, they chose not to be a part of this project. They would not let cameras in like they did everybody else. So if you're a fan of Vanderbilt, if you're a fan of South Carolina, and granted, those were great stories last year. But unless you are a fan of those 2 schools, you better get ready because you're going to consume a lot of what they went through last season, and that's a problem for the people in the state of Alabama. That obviously Auburn and Alabama.
Yeah, and I would say that I remember that was coming out in the list of schools was coming out. I'm still interested to watch it, but no, you're right, Pat. That's probably not going to help, but. To their credit, and for whatever reasons, those schools chose not to be a part of it.
Well, the only one that was a part of the college football playoff that did allow them was Tennessee.
Okay.
So Tennessee is a part of it.
Well, that'll be quick.
But when there's no Texas, Georgia, Alabama, I mean, unless they're going to tell us something that we didn't know about Nico, it sounds like, once again, I have not seen it. just reading the reviews from Seth Emerson, from The Athletic, and other people around the conference, they said that it was a swing and a miss.
Well, and it's interesting, specifically with Alabama, because if you remember, they'd had the Fox Nation cameras that followed them around last season. So maybe that was a conflict of interest, or maybe it was just okay, we kind of did that and we don't want to go through that experience again. So it is kind of interesting that they've gone through a documentary style, I guess, filming process in the last year or so, and they didn't want to be a part of this one. So, but yeah, like you said, no Texas, Georgia, Alabama, even Ole Miss. I mean, no Lane Kiffin. That would have been, I think that would have been a big selling point, even if you just had Lane as a part of it.
Well, here's the thing, and this is what Seth Emerson wrote. He said Tennessee was the only college football playoff participant that allowed Netflix to film, and its presence seems tacked on, making only a late appearance in the final episode. The production had 4 separate pods of crews spread around the Southeastern Conference footprint. There's a lot that didn't make the cut, and some teams, such as Kentucky, hardly got any airtime at all.
So Kentucky agreed to do it, but they got just a snippet. That's what you get when you're 4-8. I'm interested. Hugh Freeze and Auburn, they go 5-7. How much are you seeing? How much that they're portrayed in this?
I have not seen anything about Auburn yet about it, but just the bottom line is that the indications are. I'm just letting the listeners know, if you get ready to spend many, many hours watching this series, you better be prepared. There is no Alabama. There is no Georgia. And speaking of Georgia, joining us now on the Higginbotham Hotline, he does this every single Tuesday on this program, Mike Griffith from the AJC and DogNation.com. Mike, we were just talking about this Netflix documentary, and I'm already reading some folks talking about it, giving some reviews, and kind of a hit and miss because there is no Georgia, there is no Alabama, there's no Texas involved in this behind-the-scenes look at a season of the Southeastern Conference. How could you put this on without having those type schools being involved in a project of this sort?
Well, what is it, Hard Knocks in the NFL? It does different teams, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I get it. I understand. I mean, different schools have, different thoughts about letting cameras in and what that does to the team and, what they show. And I understand that. I mean, they all have different policies, as far as that goes. I mean, I'm fine with it because, I see plenty of inside Georgia, selfishly. I don't know when I think about Kirby Smart practices, I'm not sure how many people could handle that. I mean, there'd probably be some people that would object to, some of the language and that maybe wouldn't understand the culture. It's kind of like military training. I don't know if a lot of people really understood. I think back to, things have changed certainly, but I'm not sure how many people would have been good with how, we were trained as soldiers. Now I understood it, but there's always some that cast judgment on things outside their area of expertise, and there'd be some people that would object. Why does he got to use words like that? Then you have the people coming out. That looked like a hard practice. It's up to the coaches to decide, right? And there's something to be said for the coaches that show what they want to show, and it's a real positive vibe. You couldn't help but be inspired watching LSU and South Carolina behind the scenes and seeing how they go about it, and certainly those programs benefit from that. But I don't know, did Alabama and Georgia really need that out there for their programs? I'm not sure.
Mike, you've covered Auburn, you covered Alabama, Tennessee, and now you cover the SEC, but you cover the Georgia Bulldogs. As far as accessibility, kind of going back to the documentary, has your accessibility in doing your job, has it improved over the years, or was it easier for you back in the good old days?
Oh, gosh, it's no question. I mean, there was a lot more access back. There were open practices. I was in coaches' offices talking with them. I was watching film with Alabama coaches. Coach Stallings and his staff really brought me in, and that's really where I learned football. Was at Alabama practices and listening to Coach Stallings afterward and watching film with coaches and coaches explaining the process to me in the recruiting and listening to the recruiting calls and watching the film breakdown. And when the NFL people would come in, I'd get to sit in there and watch the coaches go over film of players with the NFL scouts, and that really taught me, like, okay, this is how it really works. And they wanted you to know that back then. They wanted you to be empowered so that when you wrote about the team or when you talked about the team, you were educated. And what that did was cancel out, I guess the lunatic fringe, right? Now there's so much stuff out there. It's hard for fans to really know who to believe and who to listen to because, anybody can be a blogger. Anybody can be an expert. Anybody can host a podcast, right? And a lot of regular fans do. And some of them even, they'll give you the, what they learned from playing John Madden video game breakdowns. And, without all the information on the players or without all the information on the scout. And so there's a lot of misinformation out there. It's more confusing than ever for the consumer. So I understand why Coach Stallings did it that way and why Philip Fulmer did it that way. And, both those coaches won national titles with open practices. But, things changed. Nick Saban kind of started to shut it down, and a lot of coaches just followed that lead. That's what Nick did. And I don't know that it's made a team, necessarily better or worse with open or closed practices, but it was a style. And when a coach has that much power, and they leverage that power, there's not much anybody can do. And their answer is if you're a donor that gives enough money, you get to go to practice. And so they added a value to that, and they increased donations that way. They use that as leverage, to get more money from donors. And it's important money. So, again, there's a rhyme to the reason. I don't know what really gets lost. I guess, if you had to pick your poison, they're not real worried about the misinformation that's out there. It's just I think it's tougher on the consumer. And I appreciate, the SEC network and what they do and how they shed light on programs. I think they do a really good job. I think it's good that there's former players that are talking to us on Saturdays and on weeknights. I think what Feinbaum does is good, bringing a lot of journalists on there and, kind of giving you an overview of the league, even though you don't have access like you used to.
Mike Griffith from Dog Nation and the AJC joining us here on Three Man Front as he does every Tuesday. All right, Mike, so we had the coaches poll, the top 25 preseason poll come out yesterday. You got 9 SEC teams in the top 25, 4 in the top 10. Texas 1, Georgia 4, Bama 8, LSU 9. But Alabama at 8, Mike, that's their lowest preseason ranking in the poll since 2008. Do you think that's a little too low, a little too high, or just right for the Crimson Tide there being at number 8?
I haven't done the research, and I'm sure somebody there will. I don't know, when is the last time a team finished with 4 losses and was a preseason top 10 the next year?
It's a good question.
Yeah. Nothing comes to mind. Yeah.
It will have been a minute, yeah.
I mean, so you look at it 2 ways. And plus, let's face it, there's still some people, not me, but some people that wonder about Kalen DeBoer. If it's Nick Saban, are they ranked a couple spots higher? Probably. Obviously, he did incredible things. I think Georgia's ranked at number 4. I mean, they finished with, 3 losses, I guess? Yeah. So they finished number 3, and they're number 4. I'd say a lot of that's Kirby Smart, because when you looked at the preseason All-SEC team, you didn't see a whole lot of Georgia guys on offense. In fact, in the Phil Steele magazine, Georgia didn't have a first-team guy or a second-team guy on offense. But they're preseason number 4. So what is that attributed to? Well, it's attributed to the coach. And maybe there's some questions about Alabama from people on the outside. I'm a guy that sat in Tuscaloosa and watched the Alabama-Georgia game, though, right? I'm not as swayed as by some as the Oklahoma game. Some people point to that game, and I say, hey, seeing's believing. And I saw what Alabama did against Georgia in Tuscaloosa last year. Now, I know Jalen Milroe's gone, but it wasn't the same Jalen Milroe against Oklahoma as it was against Alabama, right? So let's see what these quarterbacks do that the Tide has. I mean, everything else looks like it's in place. And I'd say the same for Georgia. I think Alabama and Georgia are very similar, that the only real questions to me about those programs is what happens at the quarterback position.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up the quarterback, because you got an article right now at dognation.com talking about Gunnar Stockton and Kirby Smart putting a lot of trust in him. What's the early vibes at the first part of camp for Georgia in regards to the quarterback position?
Well, I mean, they're obviously going to be able to design the offense around his strengths and weaknesses. if they can be as successful as they were in 2022. I mean, they really changed the offense for Stetson Bennett in 2022, and Stetson really improved a lot from 21 to 22, I felt. A lot more consistent. You know, the offense was more geared towards his skill set, and I think you'll see that with Gunner. I feel like, you know, we're going to see a lot more move in pocket. We're going to see a lot more quarterback run than you saw a year ago with Carson Beck. So that's going to be interesting to see how they attack out of that offense and how well they can throw and how well Gunner can distribute the ball. They've got a lot of weapons. You know, George is as well stocked as they've been at the skill position in a few years. The offensive line, they've got 4 new starters. That's probably the biggest difference between Georgia and Alabama is Bama's got those 4 starters back, so you feel like maybe that's a more cohesive unit. You feel like maybe Georgia's a little better than Alabama on defense. But dialing it back to your question on Gunner Stockton, you know, for me, seeing's believing. And I do realize that, you know, I have been critical, but I realized the test that he had. I mean, he got thrown into the SEC title game at halftime against a really talented Texas defense. They were not the best in the SEC regardless of the numbers. The schedule, you know, really kind of changed that up, so you saw that later. But they were still one of the better ones. You know, Texas may not have been the best defense, but they were still one of the top 3 or 4, I think. We could say that safely. And then he played Notre Dame, and I thought Notre Dame was really well prepared. And I think Marcus Freeman is really a really elite defensive coach. I thought that before he was the Notre Dame head coach, he was very good at Cincinnati. He does some things out of the box. He played the position. I think Marcus Freeman is just his stars on the rise. I think this is a guy that could coach in the NFL and win. He's that good. His staff was very good. He had an incredible staff. And Notre Dame really executed in that game. And then the G-Day game, spring game, you know, Gunner was going up against, again, what I think is the best defense in the SEC at Georgia. So those are 3 pretty hard tests to evaluate a guy on. You know, when he played against Florida State in the Orange Bowl, you know, rock and roll, everybody scored, you know, a couple of years ago. Hard to really say that was a good representation. And then on the flip side, I'd say maybe the competition he faced at the end of last year was an awful hard test for a guy that wasn't the primary starter and didn't have the offense designed around him. So we'll see what happens in Neyland Stadium on September 13th, and I think we'll have a lot better read on who Gunner Stockton is. And then obviously, you know, when they play Alabama, you know, that's the start of his legacy for better or worse. He's either going to be the guy that beat him or the guy that didn't.
He's the one and only Mike Griffith. You can find his work once again there at dognation.com and the AJC at Mike Griffith 32. Also, Gulf Shores Getaway AL there on Instagram, where you can find a great place to book your stay when everybody is back to school. And it's, in my opinion, the most pleasant time to be on the Alabama Gulf Coast. Mike, we always appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good week.
You as well. Mike Griffith joining us, as all of our guests do, on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Well, as we know, the Alabama heat and humidity can be brutal, but don't let it affect your home and family. Keep them comfortable with an affordable Trane cooling system. They've been recognized as America's most trusted brand for 11 consecutive years, and they're the official cooling partner here at Jox. So go and find a comfort specialist near you at Trane.com.
When we come back on Three Man Front, we will set the stage for what's coming up later in the program, including a big announcement from Auburn Undercover. We'll have the publisher, Ronnie Sanders, joining us at 11 o'clock. Also later on, we will have the debates of the century, right? Or the debates of the year, which Don will be taking on Damian and Conrad against Bama Hater. All that straight ahead is the doors. We already got some folks coming up here to the Taco Terrace, so come on early. Get your seats. Should be a lot of fun today at Social Taco on Jox. It is 10:22. Welcome back. This is Social Taco 3-man front on Jox. Every Tuesday, Taco Terrace. Come on up and see us. Folks already coming in to get their seat for the big debates coming up a little bit later in the program. Always appreciate Mike Griffith joining us from the AJC and DogNation.com. You know, just north of Jasper on Highway 5, that's where you're going to find Artec Tractor. Go to their website, artectractor.com. You're going to be blown away by the wonderful options that you have if you're looking for a mower, a tractor. I was in the market for a mower, so I called Jeremy, called Greg up at Artec Tractor. I said, I need your help. I got this big old yard. I've been, obviously, with self-propelled, but just a regular 22-inch mower. What can I do? They gave me tons of options from Toro, Cub Cadet, Gravely Bobcat, Spartan, residential to commercial grade. I said, listen, I just need a residential. I went with the Toro Zero Turn, and I have never been more happy with anything that I've purchased to do yard work. It's been fantastic, and I put all the trust in Jeremy and the guys there at Artec Tractor, and they can take care of you just like they did me. Tractor brands like Mahindra and Bobcat, everything from large home acreage, small homesteads to large farms, hunting plots, knowledgeable sales department. They can advise you on the purchase of what you need. So go by and see them just north of Jasper on Highway 5. That's artectractor.com. Interesting comments that Mike Griffith had in regards to this Netflix documentary that we're just talking about, where it appears based on, once again, standing for the record, none of us have seen it yet, so we might have a different opinion, but based on people on social media that have consumed the entire Netflix SEC documentary, it has fallen short of expectations.
It just sounds, and again, like you said, we'll watch it for ourselves and make our own assumptions, but it sounds like, you know, every now and then on Hard Knocks, even if you're a big fan of that show, you know, there were every now and then a season that was just kind of a dud, right? Whether it was you didn't have any big personalities on the team, or there wasn't a whole lot of drama going on with, you know, roster management, things like that. It just kind of sounds like one of those where it's not going to be bad, but maybe if you go in with high expectations, that's where the disappointment comes in. So maybe going in with lower expectations will make it a more enjoyable experience. But, I mean, who's to know? And hopefully there is some interesting insight on some of the other programs. But, yeah, it's going to be a hard sell if you're a Texas or a Georgia or an Alabama or an Ole Miss or an Oklahoma fan, because, you know, how much do you really care about the information of the other schools unless you are just an SEC aficionado all around?
Yeah, until I see it, I'm going to reserve judgment. But just off the top, I think that, yes, you would like to see those big-name programs, but maybe the more intriguing thing as a potential viewer, maybe some of these other programs aren't as buttoned up, and the access and the stuff that the real meat that I want as a viewer, I'm going to get out of the other 12 schools that chose to participate, if that makes sense.
Well, let's just face it, they rolled the dice. I mean, the ones that said, hey, we will do it, let's say Tennessee, and Seth Emerson wrote it, seemed like they just kind of tacked on the Tennessee video. It was almost like, oops, we got to figure out to do something here. We're on episode whatever it is, the last one. Oh yeah, they made the college football playoff. It's kind of important. So where's our video? We got to find this. So,
well, and I wonder if, you know, you have a school like Tennessee who they say, all right, we're going to agree to do the show, but we're going to let you come and film 2 days of the entire season, you know, something like that, where you're giving them access, but you're limiting how much access they actually have. And let's say there's some other programs where they followed them around for 2 months, right? You're going to obviously have a lot more content from that. So I'd be interested to know how that kind of worked. Was it equal availability for all the schools that opted in, or were there some schools like a Tennessee that maybe said, we'll give you a little bit, but we don't want to be a big part of this, but feels like a missed opportunity to not be in it at all? So I guess time will tell with that kind of stuff.
Apparently, Florida was heavily involved, and so the Billy Napier angle is interesting based on what some people are saying. Just, you know, basically talking about kind of rallying the troops at Florida because of the things that had happened the season before. Vanderbilt, obviously the big upset over Alabama. You could tell even in the trailer where they have the clip of Nick Saban going on the Pat McAfee show saying, you know, Vanderbilt.
You always have more fans. They're the only place that's not hard to play in the SEC.
Yeah, that's not a very big deal at all. And then, of course, they show Pavia and Vanderbilt pulling the upset. So, once again, it's –
just give us a Diego Pavia documentary.
Well, and one thing's for sure, when you follow this conference, and this is – I know this is going to come across as a homer, but this is a fact. I've done this for a minute or two, and I've learned these trends in consumption of media in this conference. And if you don't have Alabama or Auburn heavily involved in a project like this, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, this is not going to reach the level that you were hoping for.
No, how many people outside of the SEC are going to go out of their way to watch this?
Yeah, especially when people are writing stories about, oh yeah, it's about Vanderbilt's magical season. Okay, cool. All right. How many Alabama fans are going to tune in to want to regurgitate that loss? Or how many Auburn fans are going to tune in if,
Hey, let's hear about that 5-7 season we had.
Yeah, they're showing Pavia winning at Jordan. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, if you do not have Alabama and Auburn, I'm not saying as the seminal plot twist in the whole documentary, it's going to fail, but that is a major, major bad move on those producers not going that route.
Yeah, if I'm getting a lot of no offense, and I know they had a good year last year, but if I'm getting a lot of South Carolina, if I'm getting a lot of Kentucky, and I'm getting a lot of Vanderbilt, I will be limited in how much I'm consuming.
Yeah, and at least we know Kentucky is no offense to them, but a minor part of the overall product. But yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to to ask what the engagement's going to be like. And as we know, with Alabama and Auburn, that comes with the Birmingham market. And for this kind of thing, they're probably banking on a lot of Birmingham people wanting to watch it because we're the center of the Southeastern Conference. And yeah, no Alabama and maybe recapping a disappointing Auburn season is probably not going to move the needle a ton.
Prime example. I just read this quote. So there's a clip of Vanderbilt coach Clark Lee in his pregame speech before an upset of Auburn, claiming he overheard an Auburn coach tell his players they're still Vanderbilt and we're still Auburn. Then this was the clip that Clark Lee said, "Think about that blank," Lee shouts at his players. "This is absolutely about earning some GD respect."
Okay.
End of quote.
That's good. But the point I was going to make, if I'm not going out of my way on a Saturday to watch a matchup on a certain network between two of the teams that we've mentioned here in the last 5 minutes, why am I going to go out of my way when it's not football season or when it's football season to go and watch a documentary on how that was put together?
No.
And their week of planning. I'm not going to.
No, I think that's absolutely fair. So we'll have to see, do the LSU fans of the world, do the Florida fans of the world, do they kind of carry this thing on their back? And I think there's going to be a lot of people that inevitably, right, there's going to be 31-minute clips that go around social media of, maybe the Clark Lee moment, things like that. And some people will watch that and go, okay, I feel like I got the highlights of this. I'm not going to waste, 6 hours of my life going through the whole series.
But it goes back to my point previously, which is that if you did not have Alabama and Auburn heavily involved in this project, this is not going to hit remotely the numbers that you need it to hit to be a success. And when you have the season like Alabama and Auburn both had last year, including the upsets to Vanderbilt, and you have already in the clip of Nick Saban, of them taking a shot at what Nick Saban said about Vanderbilt, and now obviously people writing stories about what Clark Lee is running his mouth about what Auburn coaches said during that game, you've already got a fan base, and we're telling everybody now, which is not going to help the consumption of this, how many of Alabama and Auburn fans are going to spend 1 single second watching any of this?
Well, and even if it's hey, I hate Alabama or I hate Auburn, I'm going to watch it. Oh, well, Oklahoma's not a part of it. Oh, cool. So we don't even get that whole part of the story if that's kind of your angle.
No, I mean, you've got LSU, you've got Florida, South Carolina, Vanderbilt. So if you're a fan of those schools, then knock yourself out.
I'm guessing we would have already heard it, but did any of the footage – so Auburn is a part of this, right?
Correct.
To some degree. Is any of it with Hugh Freeze playing golf? I feel like we would have probably heard that by now.
I would think so. Maybe that's just the end of it. It's just him reflecting on the golf course.
Now, I know that Paul told me that he sat down for hours of interviews on this. SEC Mike sat down for hours of interviews on this project. Alyssa Lang, Andy Staples, they're all part of the project. So, again, consume at your own.
I mean, I'm going to give it a watch. I think we all are. It's just a question of are we going to watch
Leisure
the whole
apparel.
thing or what?
How are you going to end that?
I don't know. I was trying to debate on which one I was going to use. We are live at Social Taco. Come on by and see us. The doors are officially open at 11, but already had some folks sneak up here, which is completely fine. And we'd love to see you. Should be a fun afternoon. The publisher of Auburn Undercover joins us at the top of the hour. Ronnie Sanders has got a big announcement to make about their website. Coming up in the 12 o'clock hour, we will start the debates between Don and Damian. 1 o'clock, Bama Hater will be here taking on Conrad. A lot of fun. Come join us. Social Taco on Jox. It's 10:36. Welcome back in. Social Taco. This is Jox, three-man front. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. We welcome your text messages on the Courtesy GMC text line, 205-834-9450. And, Landrum, we've got people all over the country that is chiming in, getting ready for what's going to take place a little bit later on this program.
Yeah, this one rolls in, Pat and Conrad, and it said, listening from Lawrence, Kansas, beautiful Lawrence, Kansas, ready for today's fights. Who does Vegas have as the favorites? That was sent by our friend Keller, who actually sent us a picture, a real-time picture. He's doing something there.
Oh, at
in
Kansas.
The stadium.
That is
very cool.
That is a beautiful rebuild there in
Look
Lawrence,
at that.
Kansas. It looks great.
really nice.
That looks
Have you
great.
seen the turf in the end zone with the wheat?
Yeah, right here.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool.
It's very nice.
Yeah. Thanks, Keller. Look at what Lance Leipold's done.
Not a cloud in the sky. Looks wonderful.
I think G-Mac told us, and we've had other people tell us, that Lawrence, Kansas is a really cool college town.
I think it might have been Molly.
I love Lawrence, yeah. I had some friends from, some of my college friends that were from the Midwest had a lot of friends that went to K-State. Or not K-State, or wherever it's at.
Kansas.
Kansas, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard Manhattan's pretty nice
Manhattan's
too for
really
Kansas
cool,
State.
too. Yeah.
See, I was not a fan. Of
Really?
Lawrence. No,
But yeah, everyone I knew that went to Kansas loved it.
Too flat?
not a fan.
Just the state in general, or
Just
Lawrence?
yes, I mean, Lawrence, Emporia, Topeka, all those places.
Manhattan?
I've never been to Manhattan.
Little Apple.
Never been there.
That's what they call it.
Jason texts into the show, and he says, can't wait to listen to Rusty Wallace. I mean, Bama hater.
Okay.
It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it.
Brandon reminds us, guys, this Netflix documentary on the SEC is just stuff to get us through the next few weeks.
Well, and yes, I think there's a very specific reason that it came out today.
Have you watched The Quarterback?
Yeah, I finished that this past weekend, actually.
See, I don't want to finish mine. I'm spacing it out. The last episode I had was Joe Burrow playing on his piano.
Did you see the criticisms of Kirk Cousins here recently?
For the way
about
that he
last year's.
handled the whole situation?
But he's a good dad.
Is the fact that it showed him a couple of times in the quarterback where he is coaching his kids' flag football team during the season?
Yes.
Chris Sims has gone on his podcast, and a couple other people have been taking shots at the fact that you're the starting quarterback of an NFL franchise, that you should be obviously living at the facility and practicing and looking at film all the time and not have anything to do with your family.
See, that's the kind of stuff where I'm like, and Chris Sims accomplished what compared to Kirk Cousins in the end? I mean, it's just, okay, you're mad because some dude's a quarterback and he also has time to go spend with his kids and help them practice? Oh God, I'm sure there's no other quarterback in the history of the NFL that's spent time with their family outside of the facility.
You know, it's amazing.
Like, come on.
How
That's such a lazy take, in my
former
opinion.
football players with a famous last name, how their sons end up with media jobs.
Boom. Brandon says, or not Brandon, I'm sorry. Zach says, as a diehard Auburn fan, I want to say Don does not represent us as a fan base.
Oh, wow. Smack on Don. Man.
You've got to change his opinion today, Don. You stand for the entire Auburn family today.
Exactly.
It is interesting, though, because, so obviously we all know Don, big Auburn guy. I'm the Alabama guy. Bama haters Miami. But Damian, he's a loose cannon.
Hey, at least I have a team, Conrad.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, what is
Damian's a chameleon.
What is Damian? Yeah, but what is he debating against? Just the idea of Auburn football?
The
No,
idea of
these are-
pulling for one team.
How would you classify the questions that we came up with for their debate?
Are they all about Auburn?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what started.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm very curious as to what Damian's angle is ultimately going to be, because it's not like he's trying to defend one fan base versus Auburn or something.
Well, it's not like we're
No,
trying
it's-
to pit one against the other. It's
No.
just having differing opinions.
on
about-
the same team.
Okay.
And coming from somewhat the same place.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a way to classify that. Your debate questions are different.
Because it started, the way this one originated was because one day after the show, Don and Damian got into a heated discussion about what would happen if Hugh Freeze got fired.
Gotcha.
And that will be one of the questions that we kind of reposted that they will have to talk about.
Gotcha. Okay. See, now someone's saying that I don't represent the Alabama fan base either, and that's fine.
Way to go, Conrad.
I mean, if everybody agreed with my takes, I'd probably be doing something wrong.
Jonathan firing in. I really hope Conrad destroys Bama hater. Nobody likes that whiny little Bama obsessed dude. Well, he's not little.
No, he's not.
He's not. Drake says we need the song from Rocky to start the first debate off. That would be Molly Robinson's department.
You already got a song.
Yeah, Bobby says regarding the SEC documentary, I'm on episode 6, and it's the best documentary out there, ? Probably not, but it's enjoyable. So far, the teams that have been covered the most throughout are South Carolina, Vandy, and LSU.
Okay.
Appreciate the text. Keep them coming in, 205-834-9450, as we are now less than 2 hours away from our first debate between Don and Damian. Then at 1 o'clock, we're going to have Bama Hater and Conrad debating as well. So it's going to be a fun Taco Tuesday. Always is here from the terrace at Social Taco in Homewood. We continue. It's three-man front right here on Jox.
10:46 here on Jox, three-man front. Welcome back into the program. Conrad getting ready for his debate at 1 o'clock. Meanwhile, Don's already here, dressed to kill, ready to take on Damian. I have no idea when Damian will be in the building.
Yeah, hopefully before 12:30.
Yeah, be good. Last night, the Brewers were taking on the Atlanta Braves. They're at Truist. A 2-hour and 11-minute game.
That's a good baseball game right there.
Between those two teams. But you know what? When you only have 3 hits apiece on each side, it's going to be a pretty quick game. A lot of 1, 2, 3 innings. Braves lose 3-1, but I was impressed. I mean, Fetty gave up the bomb, but overall, I thought Fetty pitched pretty well for Atlanta. They just couldn't get the timely hits.
No, you score 1 run in the first inning, and then you don't score the rest of the game.
Yeah.
That's our Braves. That's what we do.
And you can already tell the crowd was very sparse last night.
We're getting to that point now?
Yeah, we have officially hit that part of a lot of Major League Baseball teams that are not in contention. It was, I mean, you could probably walk up and get a seat right behind the dugout.
Do we start getting the promotions from our friends at Coca-Cola and Diet Coke where on the can it has the combined coupon, 50%
like $20
off Six
off.
Flags and a Braves game?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was the old days, right there.
I remember that.
We took advantage. Hey, we took advantage of that.
We did too. I can remember taking old Coke cans
Yes.
to the front to redeem for tickets.
Yeah,
Back in the good old days.
yeah. Back in the good old days.
Well, if you're a Braves fan and you don't want to watch the Braves, you can come with us and watch the Barons and kick off college football at the Bill Smith Buick GMC Jox Kickoff Party. It's going to be at Regions Field on Thursday, August 21st, and the only way to go is by winning tickets. So to win a pair of tickets for you and a guest, text the keyword Blazers and your full name to 205-834-9450. That's Blazers, like the UAB Blazers, and your full name to 205-834-9450. Winners are drawn and notified daily. If you need more information, go and visit joxfm.com.
So yesterday, the USA Today Coaches Preseason poll came out. We talked a lot about it yesterday, and today, our poll question on Twitter has to do with which preseason ranking in the coaches poll was the most surprising. Is it Auburn not in the top 25? Ohio State at number 2, not Penn State. Clemson not in the top 5. Or Alabama coming in at number 8. And as of this moment, Clemson not in the top 5, according to our listeners, has been the most shocking. 48.2% of you said Clemson not being a top 5 team this year in the preseason. That was the biggest shock. Bama coming in at number 8. Now, we did not distinguish. Are you disappointed or I guess surprised that they were?
Do you think they're overrated or underrated?
Correct.
Yeah.
We did not specify that, but we just said Alabama at number 8. That comes in at 28.5%. Meanwhile, Auburn not in the top 25. Ohio State at number 2 comes in at 11.7%.
Yeah, Clemson would be the big one for me. They would be right there. If they're not number 5, they should certainly be number 6. They're going to have that test versus LSU, but if you look at the rest of Clemson's schedule, and besides South Carolina, there's a lot of winnable games. I think the floor, Conrad, for this Clemson team is 10-2 regular
It better
season.
be. Yeah, I mean, it should be, and it better be. I mean, that's the type of season they're geared up for. Because I mean, we all understand, right? If you lose to LSU in the first week, nobody's going to hold that against you. But if you get into SEC or ACC play and you're losing multiple games with what we think that conference is going to be, yeah, that would be a
Last year was a year
quite
too
a shock
soon for them in the college. Not too soon, but this year sets up, I think, for a Clemson team that we were used to seeing in the late.
See, and I wonder if that's where you've
Teams.
had some of those early season games for Clemson where they haven't looked great, go back to Georgia and things like that, where they just don't look like they're still on that same level as some of the upper-tier SEC teams. Maybe that's holding them back just a little bit. But I have to say, I was surprised to see Ohio State number 2. I'm not saying I disagree with it, but you had just seen them much lower in a lot of the other media preseason rankings. So the fact they're number 2, it says a lot of people are expecting them to pick up where they left off.
Phone lines are open, 800-239-WJOX. A lot of you chiming in, anticipating the big debates that we have coming up beginning at 12:30 here from Social Taco. John is in Birmingham. Hey, John, how are you?
Doing great today. I just went to call in and kind of talk to Conrad a little bit. I'm a big Alabama fan like he is, and I know he's talking to Bama hater today, and he can be a little annoying sometimes on a nice way to say it, but I was just wondering, what's the debate about with like Alabama and Miami today? What's the presidents of the debate?
Well, the debate, it's going to get into the college football playoff because most of the arguments that Bama Hader and Conrad have had has been, one, that Alabama is a privileged program and they should not get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to college football playoff. They all have certain ideas in regards to how the college football playoff moving forward should be conducted, the format. So that's kind of the basis of the discussion. And then, of course, we'll get into some good old-fashioned hate between the two schools because it's pretty interesting how both of these programs, you had back in the 80s and the early 2000s, Miami was one of the top programs in all of college football. Meanwhile, Alabama went through the wasteland until Nick Saban got there and dominated college football for 17 years. So that's kind of gives you a little snapshot of what we're looking forward to at 1 o'clock.
We get a sample, John, of past of your program, present of your program, and potentially future of your program.
Okay, and that's what I was going to say that's what I was going to say on that scale. If that was the debating process, I've been thinking myself, and the 60s, 70s, Alabama dominated. The 80s, Miami dominated. They did play the national title in '92, where Alabama completely dominated a team that was supposed to dominate Alabama. Alabama had no chance going in that game by every media aspect, and we completely dominate them. It was more like how we dominated LSU in the national title a few years ago. So, I mean, they had the 80s, and they had a quick little span.
Early 2000s.
Larry Coker was gone.
Yep.
Yeah, very small span, and that was Butch Davis' team, and Larry Coker kind of just walked into a situation. So,
if Bama Hader had his way, John, I think we'd be doing the debate in a time machine. But unfortunately for him, that's not going to be the case today.
Yeah, I mean, Sean Taylor and Ed Reed aren't dropping out of the sky and playing for them anytime soon. I mean, Ray Lewis isn't coming back, Warren Sapp. And even when they did have them, we still dominated them. So at the same time, I mean, that 92 game really, to me, was like one of the most dominating performances. That's just the end of the debate to me. I mean, and then even a few years ago, I know Miami was garbage, but Bryce Young, he lit them up in Atlanta. So it was a little bit, they haven't beaten us in a while. They haven't been good in a while. So, kind of like they're like the USC. They're good in spurts, in my opinion.
Well, John, we appreciate you listening. Thanks for the call, and it should be a lot of fun later on.
Yeah, good luck to you, Conrad.
I appreciate you, John. I'll try to do Alabama Nation proud.
Yeah, we efforted Gino Torretta and George Teague. Unfortunately, they were busy. They were going to be here for both of you, respectively.
Should you reach out to Tua? I mean, he's an Alabama guy that lives in Miami.
He's busy with the president's physical fitness council.
You're right.
Yeah.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, that's him.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
Yeah, he was busy.
Yep. President Trump's the only one that says it right.
Yes. We've been saying it wrong all these years.
That's right. We've been all the time we spent practicing
Shame on
the name.
us.
That is a big, beautiful last name. Tua Tagovailoa.
That is a big, beautiful last name.
It's the best name.
He can throw it. But you know what was funny is President Trump, yes, somebody did not phonetically put it out there for him. But he knew a lot about Tua's career.
Sure
Well,
did.
just him saying he's a really nice player when he's healthy. Like,
How about
yes, we know. Thank you.
Saquon Barkley saying no thanks to Trump? He was asked
yeah.
He was asked to be a part of the presidential council, and he says doesn't have time for it.
He's a busy
He played
guy.
golf with Trump.
Yeah.
Maybe he caught too much flack for playing golf with Trump. He didn't want to.
Well, I think we remember that team had a little bit of a deliberation on how they were going to celebrate their championship, if I remember correctly, so maybe that played a part in that.
Matthew is here already. He's got a great seat. So does Burr. Great to see Burr. Larry from Homewood, he has made it. Larry was in the attendance of the Chip Challenge.
He was.
Larry's become quite the three-man front ambassador.
It just dawned on me for this presidential fitness thing. You think he changes the menu for the college football players and people that visit? Because
not grilled chicken.
The two don't seem
More
to
fried
coincide
foods.
with
Surely
one another.
RFK has some input on the menu.
I
right?
heard where he's on the carnivore diet, which is meat and pickled vegetables, fermented
wow.
vegetables, which
Oh.
sounds
That's
horrible.
awful.
A lot of kimchi. That should be your next challenge.
No. Give me the chip.
We continue live as we count down the minutes until the great debates here, three-man front.
Welcome back. It's hour number 2, a three-man front. Pat Smith along with Conrad Van Order, Landry Roberts, Molly Robinson with you until 2 o'clock. Joining us now on the Higginbotham Hotline, he's the publisher of Auburn Undercover. I've known Ronnie, oh my gosh, Ronnie, what's it now, like 31 years, something like that. Ronnie Sanders
Something
from
like
Auburn Undercover joins us now. Ronnie, I hope you're doing well, and I know we're all excited about the upcoming football season for the Auburn Tigers, but man, you got a big announcement, and we've been kind of teasing it, but I'm going to let you tell everybody what you guys announced late yesterday afternoon. This is exciting times at Auburn Undercover.
It is. It is. We're going to bring Terry Bowden onto the site, and we're going to do a weekly show with Coach Bowden, and we're going to talk about Auburn and the SEC, and it's part of what he's doing. He's also going to do a betting show on Sports Grid. So he'll do a show with us and a show on Sports Grid. So we're really excited about it. Excited to bring him back into the Auburn family, and he's out of coaching now, so he thought this would be a good opportunity, and so did we.
Ronnie,
so we're excited about it.
Ronnie, as far as that's where I wanted to go, the Auburn family. After his departure, and we know that he had the broadcasting career there at ABC, got back into college coaching. But as far as the relationship between Coach Bowden and Auburn and influential people there, how long did it take for maybe he and they to maybe be more amicable than the way that he left?
Well, I think it's been, 25 years now? 20,
yeah.
Something like that since he left. It's been a long time. And so, time tends to heal old wounds. And so I think that, if you look back, Terry still has the first best 5-year start of any coach in Auburn history. His winning his first 20 games and in his first, winning his first 20 games in the SEC, still an SEC record. So, I think that, like I say, time heals all wounds. Time heals old wounds, but I also think that, hopefully this helps some people get over it. If I was judged on what I did 25 years ago, it probably wouldn't be very good. So
I've known you that long. I can tell you the things that I could tell people about you. Yeah, you probably wouldn't have a website right now, Ronnie.
That's probably true.
Well, I know one thing that will be great about having the Terry Bowden show is bringing it along as we get into a big season for Auburn football, of course, Ronnie. And we're about a week now into fall camp. So I just kind of wanted to get some early thoughts on some standout players. And one of those guys that it feels like we keep hearing about every single day is Omar Mabson, the running back. So Auburn's been a little dinged up in that running back room. But what can you tell us about that group as a whole, and specifically Omar Mabson, who's really gotten some rave reviews early on as a freshman?
Yeah, he really has. And that whole room, Auburn has a chance to be improved across the roster. We had a staff meeting this morning. We were talking about, I think there's one player left from the Harsin era on the offensive line. So we were talking about some of the backup receivers and how they would have started 2 years ago. So he's one of many guys all across the roster that Hugh Freeze has brought in, and they've really upgraded. So Auburn fans expect us to see a major step forward this year, and I think they're going to see it. I mean, if you look around, quarterback, receiver, running backs, offensive line, all the way across the board, not just on offense but defense too, the roster has improved significantly.
Ronnie, you have seen the evolution of this college game. You and I both came up early in this business, very young, and we have seen all the changes. But I wanted to get your thoughts on the transfer portal and the paying of players with NIL, because Auburn went out and got one of the top quarterbacks that was available. I think it was John Mateer and Jackson Arnold. Those were the two guys that everybody seemed to be gravitating to. But in regards to what Auburn has put forth on this roster this year, is it safe to say it's kind of a make-or-break year in regards to the financial investment that Auburn has made on this current roster on the Plains?
Well, I don't know if make or break is the right term. I think there needs to be significant improvement because, before you're selling playing time because the roster was so depleted from the Harsin era and the end of the Malzahn era. So, I think there has to be significant improvement to keep the roster together. But at the same time, I think Auburn has to go out and win 11 games in order to keep the roster together. I don't, but you've got to start seeing evidence. And like I say, I think that Auburn will. But again, that's why they play the games, right?
It is. Ronnie Sanders joining us here on Three Man Front, joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Auburn Undercover is the place to get your daily source of Auburn information. When it comes to Jackson Arnold versus a Peyton Thorne that we've seen the last couple of years, for Auburn fans that might have seen glimpses of him when he was at Oklahoma, Ronnie, how much better, how much bigger of an upgrade is this based on what you know about Jackson Arnold and what he can do in this offense?
Well, and nothing personally against Peyton Thorne, but, I think it's a significant upgrade. If you look at what Jackson Arnold has done in the offseason and you look at what he's done so far in camp, he's really stepped up. The players on the team seem to believe in him. And look, he let's be honest, he had a rough go at Oklahoma, but he also had a really, really unique injury situation. They were completely depleted all across the board. So, look, I think Hugh Freeze is big on confidence. And so right now the kid has confidence, and I think, he'll continue to bring him along. And but I think the other thing is, you've got a whole set of new quarterbacks in that room. So if Jackson Arnold falters, you at least have somebody who can step up behind him. But they're really excited about Jackson Arnold. They're really excited about Deuce Knight. And so they're excited about the future of Auburn football, I can tell you that. But, again, everybody's excited before practice starts, right? Or before the first game.
Yeah, no kidding there, Ronnie. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about the recruiting strategy for Auburn moving forward here in this class, because we heard, right, August 1st was going to be that day with the house settlement, some things maybe falling into place where some of these deals that have been given out to kids maybe were being a little overpromised in the financial department. But now that we've crossed over into August, what do you think? Has there been a pivot on the recruiting trail for Auburn? Are they steadfast with kind of the plan that Hugh Freeze and John Cohen let us in on earlier in the summer? What's the latest there on the recruiting trail for Auburn?
Well, I think, from an NIL standpoint, Auburn spent a little bit more on basketball this year, simply from a reload standpoint. So that's part of it. I also think that now that there's been clarity from the house settlement situation, I expect Auburn to get a commitment very soon. And I think there'll be several more rolling in. So I think by the end of the cycle, Auburn will probably end up with a top 15 class, maybe a little bit higher. But I wouldn't be overly concerned right now if I was an Auburn fan.
Talking to Ronnie Sanderson, publisher of Auburn Undercover. Big announcement. He and Terry Bowden will be doing a podcast that you can find right there at Auburn Undercover. Okay, so let's talk about what everyone else thinks about this Auburn football team. Is it a lack of respect where they were ranked in regards to the SEC media poll, or not even being in the top 25 preseason coaches poll? Where does Ronnie Sanders think about this year's Auburn team? What's the ceiling and what's the floor?
Well, look, I mean, if you look back to the past 2 years, how many games did Auburn lose that it should have won? But I think a floor, I think if Auburn can get to 8, I think that should be considered you look at the record the last 4 years, a winning record and a decent bowl game. I think the ceiling is actually higher. I think that the Tigers can go out and win 10 or 11 games if things fall the right way. If you get out of September, you've got a real shot to make a run. If you come out of there 3-1, you're sitting in pretty good shape. If you come out 2-3, maybe not, maybe not so, or 2-2, maybe not so much. So I think the early schedule, opening up on the road at Baylor, you go get an early win, and things can kind of start falling into place. If you go out there and lose on Friday night, the noise in the system, so to speak, will start early. But,
Ronnie,
I think they got a chance to have a really good year.
Ronnie, Hugh Freeze, you have to think that he had a good idea of what he was getting back into and coming back into the SEC. And though the climate with NIL and the transfer portal had changed since then, he was just recently at Liberty, so he had his toe in the water. But what do you think maybe has surprised Hugh Freeze in his first 2 seasons that maybe has been different since his time there in Oxford, Mississippi, and certainly different in his tenure there in Lynchburg?
Well, I think 2 things. have surprised him the most. I think number one, the level of dysfunction and the way that and how bad the roster was when he got there. As it was put to me, not one thing in this building worked right when we got here, and that came from somebody in the building, not Hugh Freeze. But I think the level of disorganization and the level of the talent level on the roster really surprised him. I think the other thing that he struggled with early on was dealing with players in NIL. And so I think at this point he has kind of insulated himself from that and handed it off to other people who can handle that. And he's going to coach the players and not talk money with them. So I think those two things he has done a better job of getting settled in. Obviously the roster has been upgraded, and I think he feels better about the way that he and the football program are handling NIL at this point.
So,
and look, let's be honest, NIL at Auburn is a lot different than NIL at Liberty.
That is a very good point there, Ronnie. And kind of continuing on with the roster, I think we all know Auburn's absolutely loaded at the wide receiver position. But if you had to say right now, besides wide receiver, what position group do you have the most confidence in heading into this season?
You know, they're upgraded all across the board. I think obviously the quarterback room is significantly upgraded. You've got 4 new guys in the room, and the depth. Like I said, they expect Jackson Arnold to be really, really good. But if he falters, you've got somebody behind him. I think the offensive line is massively upgraded from the past 4 years. I think there's one guy left, I think, that was on the roster when Malzahn arrived from an offensive line standpoint. So it's been a complete overhaul, and I'd be shocked if there weren't a significant upgrade in wins this year. But I think I'd keep an eye on the offensive line. I think Auburn fans will be really impressed with the offensive line compared to where it's been the last 4 years.
Ronnie, with these exclusives you're going to have with Coach Terry Bowden, will we be getting any renditions of Sweet Baby James? And does he still frequent Lake Martin and do flips off of Chimney Rock?
Well, I can tell you that he's still a James Taylor fan. I'm not sure if he's doing any flips lately. I can tell you that he had a health scare with COVID, I think, last year, and so he's lost a significant amount of weight. I think he's in great shape, and he's ready for the season, just like the players are.
Well, listen,
we're excited. We're excited to have him on. We're excited about the podcast, and hopefully people enjoy it. We're going to mix in some Auburn analysis, SEC analysis, and some stories from back in the day. So hopefully people really enjoy it. We're trying to do things that are unique and different, and so like I say, hopefully it's enjoyable for those people that watch and tune in.
Well, I mean, you guys have a long history together, and I know that he feels at ease with you, so I think you'll be able to get a lot of really honest conversations out in the podcast. So I think that's why people should be excited about it. I think it's going to be great. So that's Ronnie Sanders, publisher of Auburn Undercover. They're the #1 source for covering Auburn athletics. Ronnie, great to catch up. I know you've been up here to Social Taco with us. Need to come by one Tuesday and hang out with us and let Landrum buy you some tacos.
Yep.
That sounds great. Look forward to it, guys.
All right, thanks. That's Ronnie Sanders from Auburn Undercover joining us here on the Higginbotham Hotline. All of our guests join us on that Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Big takeaways from what Ronnie Sanders just said when it comes to floor and ceiling for the 2025 Auburn Tigers. In case you missed it, we'll get into it, get your reaction as well. We're live from Social Taco in Homewood. It's 3-man front, and we are Jox.
Great conversation with Ronnie Sanders. Expecting big things for this Auburn football team coming up for 2025. Don't forget about that podcast. Terry Bowden, former Auburn head football coach, and Ronnie Sanders, publisher of Auburn Undercover. You can download that podcast wherever you get your podcasts. It should be a fascinating trip down memory lane and a look at what this Auburn football team is going to be in 2025.
Certainly. This football season, there's no better place in town to enjoy sports and music than the Finnick. The Finnick is your front row seat to the best entertainment. Massive screens, explosive sound from every seat in the house. The experience is bigger, brighter, and bolder in the Finnick's new restaurant menus. We're cheering for the wings that win MVPs and the wood-fired burgers that are stacked like your favorite fantasy team. The Finnick's new 6-day schedule includes live acoustic acts Wednesday through Friday, live bands on Fridays beginning at 10 p.m. Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays are all dedicated to sports. No live music to get in the way. Can't wait to see you at the Finnick, 1630 2nd Avenue South near Railroad Park. And if you want to get by there, order ahead. They can certainly do that. They have that service available where your food is ready if you don't have time to come in and sit down. It's the Finnick, once again, 1630 2nd Avenue South near Railroad Park.
We go to the text line brought to you by Courtesy GMC, 205-834-9450.
That's right, Pat, and we have people continuing to chime in as we are an hour and 10 minutes away from the first debate of the day, as Don will take on Damian here 12:30 on the Taco Terrace. And you can chime in, 205-834-9450, where this text comes in from the state of Arkansas. Bama hater, also known as Bama. I'll let you fill in the blank on that one.
Lover?
Sure. More of the way you could describe a pet dog, perhaps?
Oh.
Of the female variety?
Okay.
If we're connecting some dots now. Let's see. Lewis from Homewood chimes in. He says, let Molly know that 1997 Michigan would beat Nebraska to settle the title. Okay. Just kind of a random comment there. Just throwing strays at Molly's
Molly.
Nebraska Cornhuskers. I'm sorry, Molly. Let's see. Someone else chiming in. They say, Conrad, I believe in you. Everyone who thinks Bama haters going to win is absolutely crazy.
I thought you were going to wear a football jersey today.
I wanted to go classy. I'm going classy. I went quarter zip.
I mean, Burr wore his Alabama
So you're
jersey.
saying he's not classy?
He did. Correct.
You're saying he's not classy?
Who?
Burr.
Oh, no. Sorry, I thought we were talking about my opponent.
Oh.
I might, a la you yesterday, I might have a wardrobe change coming up.
Oh, okay.
Just throwing that out there. We have another text
He's
rolling
gonna wear
in.
his Grant Nelson jersey.
That's. I'm going to go shave into a mustache, too, during one of the breaks. Someone chimes in, Bama hater's just going to say the same thing he says every single time he's called in for the past 5 years. That's kind of what I'm betting on as well. Michael chimes in, says, will The Rock be in attendance for the debate today? Not sure about Dwayne Johnson's
I don't know, but I will tell you this. For this to be at 11:21 and we got the crowd that we got right now, it's pretty impressive.
The Rock might show up based on who's here right now. Fat Joe
came off tour to watch this.
You're absolutely right. Fat Joe chimes in. He says, I just hope Conrad doesn't lay an egg during this debate with Bama hater like Alabama did at Oklahoma when Conrad was in attendance.
Wow.
That is a great point. I hope that is I hope not. Let's see, someone else chiming in. They say Clemson, Ohio State, and Texas can all lose, and it's not going to matter. But if LSU loses in week 1, the media will crucify Brian Kelly. Yes, they will.
Yes, we will. I mean, they will.
Well, and we will as well. Nick from North Birmingham, he chimes in as well on the Courtesy GMC text line. If Auburn wins only 6 games this year, but one of those wins is either Alabama or Georgia, is that enough for Hugh Freeze to get another year?
No.
We have Don saying yes.
A
Landrum
minor
saying
debate
no.
that's just started here.
That's right.
No, that is not enough.
6-6 for Auburn with a win over Alabama or Georgia.
No.
I don't think he's safe either. Pat, do you have a?
He's not safe.
No, I don't think so.
It's
either.
ridiculous.
It would feel good
Don,
for that one
you're already
Saturday.
losing. It's not even your debate, and you're already losing.
But hey, according to Ronnie Sanders, he told us he thinks the floor for Auburn should be 8 wins. And if that's the case, then we might be talking about a very special season for the Auburn Tigers. And we'll wrap up with this text for right now. Robert chimes in. says, I would like for Bama Hater to focus on how terrible the Miami defense was last year. Plus, Miami hasn't won a conference title since 2003.
Yeah, they have not won a conference championship since joining the Atlantic Coast Conference. That has not happened yet.
That is correct. And finally, this one just now coming in from Greg in Double Springs. Bama Hater doesn't have any facts. He will just spew hatred and will have nothing to back it up.
Wow.
Well, we'll see.
Keep those texts rolling in, 205-834-9450 on the Courtesy GMC text line. You can also give us a call, 1-800-239-WJOX. We just had one of those texters talking about Texas and Ohio State. The ticket prices for number 1 versus number 2, Outkick, our good friend Trey Wallace, he spoke to a TickPick representative yesterday about the Ohio State-Texas ticket. They're seeing 28% of the tickets are being sold to Texas residents.
Okay.
So Texas residents really trying to get their hands on these tickets.
I can only imagine what the ticket price is going to be.
If you look up Section 7C at the Horseshoe, $336 is the get-in price.
Is that a good section, or are we in the nosebleeds?
Pretty good section.
Okay.
$336. The biggest purchase is in Section 22AA, which is $1,707 per ticket.
Nice.
Are you on the field? Did you get to hold a jockstrap during the game?
You'll have to look up the stadium diagram.
You have to sit. You have to sit with the Meyer family.
Yeah. 1,700. Woo!
And according to the ticket brokers, they say that this is the third most expensive Ohio State regular season home game on record.
I would be curious. I'm assuming the others would be Michigan games.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're talking 1,700, and that's not even the high. That's insane.
You know, I would think that the
That is
Tennessee game last year in the college football playoff probably was right up there, too.
I didn't think about that. That one would count.
The first ever
Yeah.
in Columbus. I think that was probably a pretty healthy ticket to try to get your hands on.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I would think that would be.
Now, how much is
up
FSU
there.
Dave charging you for the ticket to Doak Campbell for the Florida State-Alabama game?
That one's face value. That one was only 120.
$120.
Yeah. So it's a big game for
But
them.
what are
They're
you
rallying
having
the
to
troops.
pay in Winnebago gas?
Oh, that's going to be the big one. I'm really paying with my dignity because I'm putting that on the line, obviously, with what the result of the game is. But
Even though you're
yeah,
an
the gas
Alabama
isn't
fan,
gonna
are you
be
going to
cheap.
go by the stable and pet Renegade and feed it some oats?
Of course. I'm actually allergic to horses. That could be interesting.
What I find so
Are you
interesting
really?
about
Yeah.
this next trip is the fact that so we've got this debate going on between Don and Damian.
Yes.
And Don's already taken shots at Damian's height. I'm the only one that can make fun of Damian's height.
True. Yeah. No, it's already gotten personal.
Okay, so it's gotten personal already. You guys are going to be in a Winnebago driving from Birmingham, Alabama to Tallahassee, Florida. It's going to be
Correct.
Damian, Don, you, and FSU Dave in a Winnebago going to the game. If this does not go well today, are you guys going to have to maybe punt one of those individuals, maybe Damian or Don from the travel party?
Maybe that's what today is. The winner of the debate gets to go to the game, and the loser is going to have to sit at home.
Okay.
Or to make it more interesting, maybe we make it if Damian wins, he has to go on the trip. You know, just trying to make it a little more interesting because we want Damian to be a part of that.
Well, Damian right now is supposed to be on the trip.
Well, you know how he is. He gets cold feet with certain things. I just don't want there to be bad blood, right? It's football, and I want us to all, at the end of the day, be civil human beings,
It's
be
supposed
friends.
to bring everybody together.
It is. It is supposed to bring everybody together, and I feel like there's this divide right now, and I only feel like it's going to continue to widen at 12:30, but I could be wrong.
All right, let's go to the phones. Dave in Hoover joins us on Three Man Front. Hey, Dave, good morning.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I'm heading that way. I'll be there a little bit. I
Oh,
got to
sweet.
have something
Good.
to eat, so I might as well come down there and eat. But listen, so, last year I paid an arm and a leg for the Georgia-Alabama game, like about $1,200 for 2 tickets total.
Wait. $1,200 for 2 tickets, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
And then so this year, I figure I might as well splurge last year. We got a tent down there with a couple people, so might as well go while I'm there, like a bucket list kind of thing. But this year I was thinking about going to Athens, but that's the same ticket price. It starts about $625. That's for nosebleed.
Oh, wow. Where were your
yeah.
seats in Bryant-Denny last year?
Well, it's funny. My wife and I had a handicap bench on the second level.
Okay.
like where the aisle comes out and there's a railing and there's a bench there for handicap.
Right.
Don't know how I ended up with a handicap ticket, but they sold it to us. But nobody said anything, so I had to show them my ticket. But it was all good. I mean, I'm not going to Athens this time.
Yeah.
And, the biggest thing in Tuscaloosa is all the hotels, motels down there. Even like the little small motels were $500-600 a night.
Crazy.
For big games.
That is
Oh
crazy.
yeah, insane. Oh yeah. I'll see you guys in a minute.
Hey, sounds good, Dave. Come by and see us. You too can join us here at Social Taco in Homewood. Come on by and see us. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. We have got the great debates straight ahead coming up at 12:30 and 1 o'clock.
Yes, a debate filled with hate.
The hate debate. It's got a good ring to it. Could promote that pretty easily.
It does. I was thinking about, Dave, you can outfit one of those Sprinter vans or one of those little pull-behind pop-up campers.
Yeah.
I saw I think it was on Twitter yesterday, but it's not SEC, but someone was selling an Oregon bus. It's an old-school bus decked out in Oregon Ducks colors and players and different graphics and things, and inside it has, it looks like a limousine, right? On the inside it has a large TV.
Couches.
It was only $15,000.
Really?
Yeah. Just saying, we could take that, redo the paint on the outside, turn it into an Auburn van or a Florida State one.
Does it run is the question.
That is an excellent question, but I was like, man, for $15,000, that seems like a steal. If you're in Eugene, Oregon, I guess.
We're 1 hour away from Damian versus Don. That's coming up on the show. Also, Bama Hater and Conrad in the 1 o'clock hour. So much to get into. Hope you'll join us. Come by and see a Social Taco in Homewood.
Welcome back. We are less than 1 hour away from the great debates of college football hate. Here at Social Taco in Homewood, 12:30, we get Don and Damian. That debate begins, and then at 1 o'clock, we're going to get Bama Hater and Conrad. You certainly don't want to miss it, and you don't want to miss our friends at Mystic Beverage. It is sparkling water that's made in beautiful Blount County, Alabama. You can find it at your local Piggly Wiggly, but if you're looking for a great alternative to alcohol, this is your product. I like to go with the Lift Blend. It's got the green coffee bean extract that's going to give you that boost. It's going to boost both your body and your mind, that pick-me-up, either early in the morning if you're just not into coffee, or maybe say, you know what, I'm going to give coffee a break for a while, or later in the day when you still need to watch some college football. It's going to be great for college football season, whether it's a Lift Blend, the High Hills, you can go with that, and the Nirvanic or the Broadway Spectrum. You can do it all there with mysticbeverage.com. We appreciate their partnership. Once again, you can find them at your local Piggly Wiggly, or you just go to the website, mysticbeverage.com. Always tell them Landrum from Jox sent you.
So a pretty interesting development when you want to watch some college football this fall. Starting this season, ESPN's Friday night ACC games and the ACC Network's primetime Saturday broadcast will let viewers hear the real-time deliberations between the on-field referee, the press box replay official, and the league's command center in Charlotte, North Carolina, according to David Till of the Virginia Pilot. It's the first for college football, and it stems from two wildly confusing Miami games last season. Both games, one against Virginia Tech, the other against Cal, were decided in the final moments on officiating reviews that lacked immediate explanation. So ESPN rules analyst Matt Austin, he is going to actually be able to hear the officials' conversations during the replay reviews, and then he's going to explain it to the audience in real time. So you're not going to hear the debate going on between the replay booth, but you're going to hear Matt Austin kind of be the communicator of what he is hearing in regards to the debate going on between the officials. Now, the league tested the concept last season in the ACC. They liked what they saw, and they decided to commit to that fully in 2025. So this new layer of access won't cover every ACC game. Production logistics make it impossible for that to happen, but is a significant shift being able to see that now. What is going on?
I'm sorry, Landrum almost died.
He's got a demon. Sorry. Please continue.
I'm pretty much done.
Okay.
Well, that reminds me of, so it's not quite what you got with the UFL, right, where you get that complete total
the
access,
UFL,
but
you
it's a
heard
little
everything.
closer to that maybe.
Yeah. But, I mean, this is a significant shift.
I like it.
So Matt Austin will be able to listen to what is going on in regards to the conversation with the replay booth, and then he will tell the audience, hey, okay, this is what they're looking at, or they didn't find that they had the right angle to overturn that call.
Can this be brought up for our debate with Bama Hater? Specifically the part about them having to do this because of Miami getting 2 wins illegitimately last year?
Well, it didn't say that that's why, Miami won the game was because of bad officiating. They just pointed out that there were 2 instances involving Miami that they wanted to be able to give the listening audience an explanation.
That'd be great if what we saw is the official, the Matt Austin, he's going back and forth, and you get the, all right, well, if you guys say so.
Really? That's what y'all are seeing? Okay, then.
I guess I need my eyes checked.
And here's one thing. I mean, the ACC, they were pretty bold. They were saying, hey, we got nothing to hide. Well, if they got nothing to hide, then why don't they just go ahead and let us hear what the replay officials are saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's a step in the right direction, right? I think that's what listeners want, right? They want more of that insight. They want to understand what those conversations being had are all about. And so we will oh, wow, that is a lot. Thank you. That looks wonderful.
What is that?
I don't know. I just ordered guacamole for Paige, and that came out. I don't know what this is.
Interesting.
Huh. It looks good. We'll try it.
Looks like one of the planets on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I don't know what exactly that is, but Paige better get here soon. Otherwise, I think people are going to start diving into that.
So with ESPN and the ACC having this cooperation, it will be interesting to see how quickly the SEC adopts this. And whether you're watching a Mercer-Alabama game or whatever, I mean, once folks start consuming the game like this, there's no going back. It's just like the score bug. Remember when the score bug first came into existence, Landrum? Remember how everybody was like, "Oh, it's cluttering up the TV. We don't need that."
Right.
Now, if you go back and watch an old game before the score bug,
looks weird.
Like you're irritated. You're like going, how much time's left? What was the score in the game? You know, you become acclimated to it. So this is something that I think the fan bases of college football will absolutely be all in on this.
Inching closer to total transparency when it comes to college football, but we're still not going to get it with the strength of schedule, and I will stand on that soapbox.
I got an idea. What if Matt Austin is able to listen into the college football playoff committee?
That'd be great.
And then he literally on Tuesday night tells everyone what he heard.
That would be great. Sign me up for that.
A lot of SEC hate in that room, guys. Boy, they love them some SMU, but woo, they do not like the SEC.
Oh, that would be. See, how great would that be, right? You get all right, we're going to listen in to the committee debate for 30 seconds, and just what you would hear if you were a fly on the wall in that room. That would be awesome. But, hey, more transparency, regardless of how we get it. I'm a fan.
Yeah. You know, water does not need an invitation. It can find its way into any crawl space, bringing along mold, mildew, pests, and wood rot. But APS has the solution. Call them today at 205-951-9717. The APS crawl space encapsulation system. It seals out moisture, blocks pests, and can even help reduce your energy bills. And with added protection, your crawl space becomes usable, valuable storage space. Go to their website, alabamaprofessional.com. APS has been protecting Alabama homes since 1977. Call them today, 205-951-9717. We are live at Social Taco in Homewood. Come on by and see us. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. We're under an hour away from the debate that will take place. The great debate of college football hate. That's what Landrum has just told me that I must use when we're debating and discussing this moving forward. Join us, Social Taco, here on Jox.
Welcome back. It is three-man front. We're live in the Taco Terrace. Friends, family hanging out with us. We got people walking up the stairs as we speak. This is going to be the site for the great debate of college football. Hey, you got Damian versus Don coming up at 12:30, and at 1 o'clock you get Conrad taking on Bama Hater. You certainly don't want to miss it. We appreciate Mike Griffith of Dog Nation and the AJC joining us. Ronnie Sanders of Auburn Undercover talking Auburn 2025, and also he's going to be debuting an exclusive podcast with Coach Terry Bowden, talking a lot of college football there, past memories, and the current state of college football, and more. All of that can be found there at the Three-Man Front podcast at joxfm.com.
So the FCS preseason top 25, it came out yesterday afternoon, just like the preseason coaches poll came out. North Dakota State, which won the FCS championship last season, received 54 of the 56 first-place votes in the preseason top 25 poll. The Bison are followed by Montana State Bobcats, who got one first-place vote. South Dakota State Jackrabbits come in at number 3. The South Dakota Coyotes, they got one first-place vote. They're at number 4. And coming in, rounding out the top 5 in the FCS preseason top 25, Incarnate Word Cardinals. They come in at number 5. Just looking down the list, it looks like the SoCon is represented. That's Sanford's conference by number 11, Mercer. So
that is a Mercer team I think that Auburn has on their schedule, right?
I think you're correct.
Late in this season.
Yep.
But we're excited. We're going to be at Sanford Thursday, right?
That is correct. It is Sanford Bulldog Media Day. We will be there at the Sports and Analytics Center. Dr. Darren White is always so kind to host us, so we will be there on site. And Coach Hatcher, Martin Newton, the athletics director, he will be one of our featured guests. So, yeah, we'll have a good time coming up Thursday as we preview Sanford coming up for this upcoming football season, the SoCon.
Texts are rolling in on the Jox text line, 205-834-9450. A lot of you predicting how the debates will go here live from Social Taco. And this one reads, I don't even like Crimson Conrad. I don't think it's you personally.
Oh, no, that's the guy that texts in all the time asking y'all to fire me. But that's okay.
Okay.
But that's okay.
I will read the text. I don't even like Crimson Conrad, but he will take down Bama Hater with ease. Bama Hater's arguments are always the same.
See, and that's – I can live with that, right? You may not respect me, but if you at least have faith that I can take down Bama Hater in a debate, I'll take that. That's a win for me.
Pizza Larry says, I'm predicting FSU Dave will run in with the money in the bank briefcase and take out the winner after the debate ends.
Yeah, where is Dave going to be here today?
No, he's been texting in. He will be here.
Okay.
No shepherd's pie today for Landrum.
No.
He said with everything going on,
yeah,
it's
too much.
Yeah, he will bring it in due time.
This one reads, Conrad, you better represent the Tide and get the W.
I'm going to try my best.
Greg says, Bama Hater, don't have any facts. He will just spew hate, nothing to back it up.
Well, and that's kind of what I've been saying all week is eventually, you know, it's going to get to the point in the debate. It's just a question of does it take 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes to get there where he's just going to be debating himself. And I can essentially just sit back and let it go.
So happy you guys are going to Sanford. Proud alum, Sam. And we're proud to be going, Sam. It's really a home game for me.
It's a great place. Absolutely. You get two home games in the same week.
You can walk through the
that's what
your
my
backyard,
wife. That's what my
right?
wife said. I said, yeah, that's great, babe. Way to take advantage of. They let me park right next to the building. Yeah, let me walk. Let me be sweating when I get there, carrying a bunch of equipment.
Get your
great
cardio
idea.
in.
You and Pat can enjoy your walk together, and I'll meet you.
How long of a walk would it be, seriously? 10 minutes?
Maybe, if that.
If that.
Yeah, the back cut through as the crow flies. We're talking like 800 yards.
800 yards? Okay. So you could throw a football and hit the campus?
Back in high school.
Like Uncle Rico?
Yeah.
Oh, the crowd is starting to fill in now. Dave from Hoover just arrived.
A lot of pressure coming in.
Yeah.
JJ says, better bring your A game, Conrad.
I
Oh,
always
there's
do.
FSU Dave. He's here.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, he's here. Oh, the anticipation. It is swelling here at Social Taco.
I see JJ. Yeah, they said I think the masses are seriously underestimating Bama Hater. Saying Bama Hater's not getting any respect going into this. I agree with that. I think people are and tell me if you agree or disagree with this statement. Since I've been a part of this show, as Bama Hater has continued to call and text into the show, I think his calls have gotten better. To where he legitimately makes good points a lot of times now. Now, when the hatred comes out, it gets a little off the rails. But when he's not talking specifically about Alabama, he makes some really, really good points.
Yeah, he does.
Does that concern you about today's debate?
No, because we're talking about Alabama, so all that goes out the window for him.
I'm expecting this big entrance from Bama Hater now, aren't you, Pat? Kind of? Like he's got a crew with him? Maybe portable fog machines?
I can see that. I mean, he's going to be in the jersey with the chain and everything, right? I mean, he has to be.
Yeah.
Look, Creed has made it.
There will be a lot of production value, my opinion, when Bama Hater comes up here. A lot of production value, a lot of thought will be put in.
So you're thinking like
fog machine would be cool.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
I mean, he'll have his medallion on. He'll be ready to go.
We can get the kitchen staff downstairs. Just throw a lot of water there on the griddle.
On a fajita?
Create a lot of steam. Yeah.
I should have brought my sunglasses in here. I don't know if he's going to go shades on or off for the debate. I could see him going shades on.
Would you like some reading glasses? I have those.
I'm not there yet.
They're not quite as cool as sunglasses.
Did they have the lenses you can flip up and down?
No. This one from Brant says, hey, y'all, I missed the name of the podcast that Ronnie Sanders and Terry Bowden are doing. What's it called?
The Terry Bowden Show, if I'm not mistaken.
Hold on. I'll give you the exact name of it. It's the Terry Bowden Show.
Terry Bowden Show.
Very original, Ronnie.
Hey, I ain't got time for cute titles and names of shows.
I can say that because Ronnie and I go way back. So he knows it's all in love.
Brant continues and says, also I wanted to share something with y'all. I'm a recovering addict, been sober for 2 years now. My point is when I was sitting next to the devil giving up on life, I've always had y'all to listen to for some joy in life. And now that I walk with God, I still have y'all, and thank you so much. You don't understand what y'all do for people. Love you guys. Y'all don't have to share if you want. I just thought that y'all might want to know. Love
That's
y'all.
very nice.
Thanks, Brant. Brant, God bless
awesome.
you, brother.
Yeah, Brant.
Keep in our prayers.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Very kind. Very kind.
That's what we try to do. Put a smile on your face.
Where is Steve from Tuscaloosa? He has texted in. And he says,
he's
Conrad,
probably not back from Bristol.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He sent the picture in yesterday from Bristol, yeah.
So, Conrad, if you can't answer a question, just grin and use a bunch of filler words like, and so. Also, comment about footwork, gimmies, and throwing against air. At the end, say roll tide.
Oh, I'm definitely going to bring up how good Ty Simpson looks throwing against air. I haven't seen those same clips from Carson Beck. He's too worried about his heartbreak.
Somebody wants to know, what is the debate about?
I almost went a little step further there.
Okay.
Tariffs.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let me see. What is that?
Very cool. It's like an old school promotional poster for the debate.
That's nice. Very nice.
Well, yeah.
So basically,
details, right?
So basically, the origination of the Don versus Damian, it started a couple weeks ago after the shows. We're packing everything up. There's a conversation about Auburn football. And so Don made some type of reference of what potentially could have happened if Hugh Freeze is shown the door. Yeah. And Damian had an opinion, he had an opinion, and then they literally got into a very elevated, very quickly, a profanity-laced debate between the two about Auburn football. So we said, okay, well, y'all just table that. We'll try to harness that and do that on the radio. Meanwhile, Bama Hater has constantly been a thorn underneath Conrad's side.
Oh, this is going back 2 years now.
Yeah, so this is just a debate on the college football playoff system, the haves, the have-nots, Miami versus Alabama. So that is why we're bringing them all together today in this wonderful venue we call Social Taco to make it happen.
Want these debates settled prior to the start of kick? We don't have time for all this nonsense afterwards.
No, these are legitimate questions. This isn't just going to be like, like we used to do in the old days of Feinbaum, when I just literally let the guys in the studio and they just had edit.
No, we're talking ball.
I mean, we've got questions, and there is going to be a format, and they will have to answer the questions. And then, listen, if it gets off the rails a little bit, hey, we're okay. That's fine. But we are going into this organized, and we have an idea of what we want to do.
Has anybody heard from Damian? Because he has 30 minutes to get here. I just want to make sure that
Molly,
he's
have
in
you
good
seen
spirits.
Damian? What is the status of Damian in the studio?
Honestly, I haven't seen him. Not since the show started.
Really?
See, I like to think he's in one of the production rooms listening to the Rocky soundtrack, just getting pumped up, maybe doing a little shadow boxing.
Well, there are a lot of people up here in the terrace. Maybe he's standing behind someone and we just can't see him.
Oh, now we're getting into that. See?
What?
I mean, it is amazing. Don has been here since like 10:05.
Oh, he's been ready. I bet he slept in that last night. You know he did. You know he did.
Maybe. So he wouldn't forget to wear it.
Oh, that poor magic marker.
I just wish Damian would show up like this.
Yeah, what if he... That's a good point. What if Damian is in a full uniform?
Oh, gosh. 12 o'clock, welcome back in. The great debate of college football hate takes place 30 minutes from right now. You're going to have Damian, wherever he may be, taking on Don, who was here at 10:05 at Social Taco in Homewood, where you can still be. We're going to broadcast until 2 o'clock, but the half-off happy hour continues Monday through Friday, 3 to 6, half-off of drinks and select appetizers. SocialTaco.bar for more information. Landrum Roberts, Conrad Van Order, Pat Smith, and now joining us a bipartisan or a neutral party, FSU Dave, who has also been a tennis official. And with that, there's breaking news here on the show. And for more, I'm going to send it to FSU Dave, who has breaking news. Dave.
Breaking news from out of the desert. I just got off the phone with one of my very best friends who is the sportsbook manager of the Mohegan.
Okay, Mohegan.
In Las Vegas. And he just told me that in the throwdown match between Conrad
and Bama Hater,
yeah, it has been taken off the books. They put
whoa.
They have
Time
put
out.
a red circle around it because they consider it no contest.
What?
The most you can bet is $500.
Wait, no contest?
Because they're saying it's going to be a rout. So they're limiting the bets. When a red circle goes on in Vegas, bets are limited. So they have taken it off as far as, Landrum being able to put $10,000 down on one or the other. You can only now bet $500.
Well, that stinks.
It's a bad day to be Brad Bohannon, man.
Yeah.
But
Right?
Vegas is generally never wrong. I mean, those billion-dollar
they
buildings were not built on a bunch of idiots.
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying is that anybody who wants to bet in Vegas.
No, I'm about that particular debate. What is that telling you?
That's telling me that
There's going to be a
Bama
rout.
Hater has zero chance.
Oh, so Conrad.
That's
is
what
gonna,
they're feeling.
Man, I'm
that-
getting too hyped up now.
that Conrad will destroy it. That's why they did that. And they said that all the money was coming in on Conrad, and they had to take it off the books.
All right,
to
what
limit
about
the bets.
what about the undercard? What can you tell us? What is your people in Las Vegas telling you right now in regards to Damian versus Don?
Okay, as of about 35 seconds ago, when I finished speaking to him, they are very undecided on this. This one is a pick'em because
a pick'em between Damian and Don is a pick'em?
Yes, because the reasoning is that nobody knows what Damian is going to say. Like, they don't know what team he's for. They don't know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
He's also, like Conrad
It's the
pointed
wild
out
card,
earlier,
yeah.
Yeah, but he's also not defending a team, whereas, Don is. Don's defending his Auburn Tigers, and Damian's like the will-o'-the-wisp. He just floats in the breeze.
Yep.
And he just goes whichever way the prevailing breeze
Are you calling him a snowflake?
Completely.
Would you like to hear the latest from Damian Mitchell?
We've heard from Damian.
Yes. So I texted Damian.
Okay.
I may have tried to stir it up a little bit.
Okay.
I texted Damian a few
Proud
minutes
of you for
ago.
that.
I just said,
All right.
are you getting pumped up? Don's kind of talking crap today. His response minutes ago from Damian Mitchell, if he keeps on, I'm going to embarrass that Make-A-Wish alumni.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
So now we're calling Don's fandom, his association with Auburn, into question.
Oh,
Wow.
To be fair, Don did start earlier with the little man comments, so it's only natural that this got personal quick.
I did not realize this is
just not.
Wow.
It's devolving very quickly into something personal.
This is what
This is getting bad.
This is what we feared.
Yeah.
And we asked.
I knew you kids couldn't play right.
Well, we asked Damian to not make it personal. We kind of coached him up. Let's just stick to the facts, stick to the debate. But to Damian's defense, it was Don that started taking shots early.
Yeah, I mean, he came in with both guns blazing.
And PG and I this morning told him not to. Told him to take the higher road.
Yeah,
be prepared.
Unfortunately, PG can't be here because I think we all agree if PG was here, he would be able to literally put Don in the right frame of mind. But without PG being here, being in his corner, all of a sudden we're going to get a wild man here.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think Damian's going to take advantage of that.
I wouldn't be surprised at all, because Damian's going to kind of float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, kind of dance around a bit, and then see his opening and go from there.
I noticed one thing about Conrad. He's wearing his wristwatch today.
I told you I'm going for the professional, classy look. Unfortunately, I just told Pat this in the break. There will be no wardrobe change. There was a little bit of a mix-up, so this is what I will be. This is what I will be competing in, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
That's good though. You're not blaming your wife while she's here.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Mix-up is the way that I would have phrased it.
That's exactly what it is. So, no, we're going to go in just like
Do
this.
you
That's why I
want
wore
something
the
else
zip.
to wear?
No.
I have something that is available downstairs that you could put on for this debate.
I don't know if I'm going to want to know what that item is. It's not going to be heels. That would be BB's pick.
No. This is for a man.
Okay. Oh, depends?
Huh?
Depends?
No, it's not depends.
Oh, okay. We'll see. I'm feeling confident.
So you brought him a change of wardrobe?
No, there's a closet downstairs that has certain items in it that you can wear.
Oh, lost and found.
Interesting.
It's not a lost and found. I believe they do it on certain days here around the year.
A serape?
The Day of the Dead that they have.
Oh,
and everything
okay.
else.
Yeah, I'm good in what I have on.
We'll decide.
It'll be the Day of the Dead after the debates because, somebody's going to have to lose.
All right,
That's
before
what
we
I'm
let
talking about.
FSU Dave go, will the results of today's debate impact at all the Winnebago trip to Doak Campbell?
Oh, not in the least.
Okay. From your perspective, it doesn't matter.
No.
As long as they can put whatever ill feelings they have.
Correct, behind them.
As long as you get behind the wheel and they don't, misbehave in the back of the Winnebago, you're good.
Right, and Conrad's not allowed to use the shower.
That's
Understandable.
a given.
Yeah.
Yeah. You find one of those car washes for him if he gets too dirty.
Yeah.
He said that you're okay with them using the facilities, though, right?
Correct, but for Conrad, it's like the line from the Caddyshack. The pond is better for you.
Who is on tire changing detail? Because we know it's not this one.
My AAA card.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good move.
It could be a good learning experience for me.
No, that's a great move. All right, FSU Dave, thank you
Thanks,
so much.
FSU Dave.
Joining us, get BB over here.
Hey, BB.
BB is going to join the show now. We're just getting different perspectives, and she brought something with her today, and we're going to let her describe what she did. We'll get BB all hooked up here on the mic. BB, it's great to see you. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Doing wonderful. We're just kind of giving this pre-debate conversation of what's happening here a little bit later. But you came in because you were ready for a very fiery debate between these two because you brought something in. Tell the listeners what you brought in.
Yes, I brought in a penalty flag that I will throw on the field if I think there is cause for a personal foul, for excessive taunting. Could be.
So are you talking about like a character attack, an attack on someone's character
like
getting too personal?
like if it gets a little
Too
where
personal.
It gets too personal, or if there is too much nipping back and forth.
Okay, what if Don makes a joke about Damian's height? Is that worthy of a
okay?
flag?
I think we vertically challenged people should not be questioned today.
Okay.
Oh.
There we go. Okay.
Especially
Pat's
in
having a
light
tough
of the
time with
fact
that
that
Yeah, I don't
Bama
have a problem
Hater
with that.
is so tall.
He is very tall.
He is quite tall.
So I think we need to keep the personal ad hominems kind of to a minimum and talk football.
Okay.
So could be a targeting foul. You never know. We just don't want to have anything get out of hand. And if there will be consequences.
Did you make snackerdoodles for the winning debaters and the losing debaters?
My kitchen's closed for a while. You guys have worn me out. School starts Thursday, so I don't know how many more goodies you're going to get for a while.
You're great, BB.
All right,
Thank you.
so BB, being the first lady of Social Taco in this gathering every Tuesday, as you have been able to break chips with all the fine folks here today, it's a great crowd, as it always is. What's the rumble? What do you think? What are they feeling? Do they think Damian, Don? What's the early line right here in the restaurant?
I think we are looking at a kind of a dark horse here. No pun intended with Damian, because I think he's going to come with the goods, and he's going to surprise us all.
Damian
So,
is.
I think Damian is.
But I think Damian's the favorite here, right? I mean, Damian does this for a living every day. He's a talk show host.
I think he's got certainly a grasp of the stats, but now we have to keep in mind Damian can get a little heated. So there could
Yeah,
be.
you can't let the emotions get the best out of you.
Maplesville starts coming out in him. Do we want like a quick straw poll
That would, yeah.
from the
Why not?
listeners?
I think that would be good.
Okay,
Let's find out.
1 second.
All right, we're getting.
Hey guys, hey, can I have y'all's attention?
All right, here we go.
All right, just by a show of your voices between Damian and Don, who wins the debate? Is it Don?
Don.
Oh.
Damian.
Oh,
That was rough.
All right,
That's
the
a rough
debate
pull for Don.
between Conrad and Bama Hater. Is it Bama Hater? Conrad.
Unsurprisingly,
Oh, wow.
Don, the only one supporting Bama Hater.
Okay, Conrad, pressure's on.
I know the pressure's on. They've been gassing me up. And did I just hear Damian say that he is en route to
Is Damian on the mic in the studio? Or did he leave?
I think he said he's on the way.
That might have been a hotkey. I did hear Damian there.
I'm just glad to know that he's going to make it up here in time for the debate. I didn't want him to be getting cold feet.
Are your feet cold because you're not wearing socks?
No, I'm great. My feet can
Very
breathe
Nick
really
Saban-esque,
well.
the designer watch with no socks.
That's right.
And the zip up.
I just need my oatmeal cream pies, and I'm good to go.
Yeah. You got your Miss Terry right there.
That's right.
So we can't let things deteriorate with our great crowd here on Tuesdays to get into a slugfest because we don't want to have any hurt feelings. We want people to keep coming
That's
back.
right.
So
Yeah,
this
and I
is
also want to point out,
very
I
well
was in touch with Homewood Police Department this morning. No, I mean, I'm serious.
Yeah,
I'll
he
show you the
was.
text messages. And I can tell you that there are undercover Homewood police officers here in the restaurant.
Posing as patrons.
Yes.
Just in case it gets out of hand a
So
little
just
bit?
in case somebody decides, hey, I'm going to be one of these instigators. I want to go up there and try to stir the pot a little bit.
Did you get patted down when you came in? Just make sure you didn't have any weapons on you.
I did. I am all good. I've been cleared by the proper authorities.
Conrad's special power is his brain. That's his weapon.
The other thing that bothers me about what potentially is going to happen at 1 o'clock, BB, and you're a female and you can attest to this.
Oh, you figured that out. Good for you.
Is the fact that during the chip challenge, Conrad's wife was not in attendance.
Yes.
Okay.
But who's in attendance today? That tells me that the wife is concerned.
There could be a concern here.
And that's why she's here today.
She's more concerned about the debate than,
That she was-
the chip
than
challenge.
whether
Yes.
or not he was going to die.
Yes.
last
But we also
Friday.
know she's not going to take it easy on me if I do poorly. She's going to let me know because she criticized me for crying too much
If
during
you're
the
crying
chip.
during this, then something has gone horribly wrong.
I agree, and I should probably just resign if I end up crying during this debate.
probably a
I don't
good
think
idea.
that's going to happen.
Probably a good idea.
I'm ready to go.
All right, BB, thank you.
Thanks,
It's great to see you. Too bad she didn't bring me any chocolate cake today, but maybe next time.
Kitchen's closed, Pat.
That's what she says.
She's
been
got
very
school
generous to us
starting
this
up.
summer.
She teaches. She's got grandkids.
I know.
She's got another village she has to raise.
Yes.
Or child.
Very
By
much
a
so.
village.
Hey, it takes
She
a village
is-
to raise a child.
She is the village.
All right, is your roof showing signs of wear? Missing those shingles, leaks, or storm damage from this summer could mean bigger problems just around the corner in the fall. At Abide Roofing, they specialize in expert shingle repair and full roof replacement, protecting your home, your family, and your investment. Outstanding customer service, excellent workmanship with top quality materials, industry-leading warranties, punctual, and a flawless finish every single time. That's the Abide Roofing promise. Call Abide Roofing today. Travis Lloyd and his outstanding local roofing team. They're ready to serve you at 205-922-7134 or go to abideroof.com. That's A-B-I-D-E roof.com. Don't wait. Give your home the protection it deserves with Abide Roofing.
The Maplesville Marauder is on his way. Just got the text from Damian Mitchell. All caps, on my way.
15 minutes out.
So he's not checking out. He's going to
Nope,
be here.
he's going to be here.
All right.
He's ready for Don. But Don is ready
Don's
for
getting
him.
a little nervous. You can tell he's walking around.
Yeah, he's pacing a little bit.
Yeah, the nervous pace.
Yep, sure is. All right.
Little sweat starting to come through that American flag.
Yep, we're 15 minutes away from the first debate. Don and, of course, Damian Mitchell.
I'm sorry. I can't keep making jokes about it.
Oh.
All right.
Is that mascara or a marker? Stop. Okay.
All right, more three-man front. This is Jox. It is 12:19. We're live at Social Taco. Come on by and see us. There's still a little bit of room if you want to get up here on the Taco Terrace on the second level here at Social Taco. We are about 11 minutes away from the first version of today's double dip from the debate, in which Don will take on Damian. We understand Damian is en route from the studio. He was wrapping up his work on the morning show. So let's go to the text line and see what they are saying on the Courtesy GMC text line, 205-834-9450.
And that's where Michael chimes in. He says, when Damian walks in, play John Cena's walk-up music. We'll see if we can get a little fanfare, a little production value behind Damian when he arrives here in a matter of moments. This is a good question that comes in. How are y'all going to be scoring the debates?
We are going to let the people score it. Like, we will get a poll question. Molly will put a poll question up on Three Man Front's Twitter page, and we will let the people vote. And they will make the decision ultimately. It will not be my decision. It will not be Landrum's. It will not be Molly's. It will be the people of the listening audience. They will make that call.
Hey, no kidding. I just walked out of the restroom, looked out on the patio, and Kirby Smart's doppelganger is out there. I was like, hey,
that's
Coach,
interesting.
Coach Smart,
See, and I'm curious now because one of my buddies, who was my roommate in college, his dad, I swear, is Kirby Smart's doppelganger. So it might be
Your buddy's dad might be outside.
I'm going to have to go check during the next break. Back to the text line, though. Someone chimes in. They say, just like every Barner, Don Don's going to get waxed and start blaming the officiating.
Oh. That should have been the payoff for the bet, whoever loses, getting waxed.
I'm just picturing Steve Carell in the 40-Year-Old Virgin and how well that went. Bobby chimes in. Everybody's focused on the Conrad Bama hater debate, but the real pressure's on Damian. I'm not even an Alabama fan, and I know you can't give Auburn a win in anything. There's a lot on the line today. Not just for Don Don, but for the Auburn family. This text coming in says, listening to and arguing with Bama hater is just like arguing with Golden Domer. Nothing will be accomplished, and you are going to feel dumber for it afterwards. Another text rolling in. They say, tell Damian to take it easy on Don Don. RTR, though. Take a little page out of Hugh Freeze's handbook, taking it easy on Jackson Arnold, and so now Damian needs to take it easy on...
we want everybody to leave with confidence.
That's That's right. That's right. This text coming in, just hit Bama hater with facts because facts hurt feelings. Well, we'll see. Someone says y'all should poll the audience for who wins. That's exactly how we're going to do this. Let's see. Someone says, I always thought Kirby Smart's doppelganger was Captain Kangaroo. They have the same haircut.
If Kirby grew a mustache, that
you could see it?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I could see that.
Let's see. Someone said in Beham, he chimes in, Conrad, remember, Bama hater hates Alabama way more than he likes Miami, so watch how you attack Miami because he really won't care. That's right. Jamie chimes in. He says, you can do it, Conrad. You can do it all night long. That was my very bad Rob Schneider Waterboy impression there.
Okay.
I assume that's what he was going for there. Let's see. Paul from Boaz. What's the side bet on how many times Don Don says my friend during the debate? Ooh, that'd be a good – you could have some good prop bets.
Okay.
With these debates.
I think Gringo and some other folks are playing a drinking game, depending on how many things are being said during the debate.
That is a great
Oh, look, Don Don keeps looking at his phone. He's like looking around, hoping this is going to be a forfeit victory. He's hoping that Damian doesn't show up.
Sitting in his car right now, waiting to come in, Bama hater?
Maybe so. It's possible. Tim chimes in. He says, I love the comment from the guy about his addiction and overcoming it. However, when I listen to the show and listen to Conrad, sometimes it makes me want to do the opposite. It makes me want to start using drugs. Well, Tim, I'm sorry about that.
That got a laugh out of Conrad's wife.
I was about to say, I'm sure Paige feels the same way a lot of days, but that's all right. Let's see. Y'all should call the show Ronnie and Tiny T. Okay?
Oh, the podcast with Ronnie Sanders and Coach Terry Boughton.
The podcast, that's right.
I'll pass that along to Ronnie.
What do they call him? Tater Tot?
We called him on Feinbaum. We called him Tiny Terry. We did a parody song, Tiny Terry, to Macarena.
That's a
Tiny
good one.
Terry.
Yep. We did a parody song to Short People by Randy Newman. Talking about Tiny Terry. Oh yeah, we had a ton of them.
Conrad had no idea when you mentioned that song the other day that song was going to be that explicit and that direct.
Yeah, no, I did not.
There was no beating around the bush there.
No, it was just a friendly suggestion, and I was a little taken aback by it.
I feel like my suggestion was a little more politically.
Yours was more subtle.
Yes, it was more subtle.
That one was right on the nose.
That's the way we used to do it on the old Feinbaum show.
You weren't going to mistake it for anything.
Hour heater.
Right down the chute.
We're not playing around. We're not Greg Maddox nipping on the black of the corner. You know what I'm saying?
That's
right.
right.
I mean, we're bringing high heat.
Yeah.
Let's see. Justin chimes in about the drinking game. He says, take a drink every time Don Don says, and everything. Okay. That's a phrase to keep an eye out for.
My friend.
Let's see. JQ, listening all the way from Virginia, chimes in. Says, if Damian's the Maplesville Marauder, does that mean Conrad becomes Captain Caveman?
Hey, do you hear all these people?
Yeah.
These people are worried.
Yeah, calling out Damian.
They're calling out Damian.
He's got 5 minutes to
I
get
don't know
here.
why I was worried about Bama Hater being here. I'm not worried about him showing up, but he's still got 35 minutes. Damian.
He's got 5 minutes.
But this is very Damian.
Yes, it is. It's right on brand for Damian.
So, if he's late, does that impact?
Oh no! I tell you what we're doing. This is like a basketball official.
Okay.
In which you're coming out of the timeout and you place the ball on the baseline, and he's doing the count. And guess what's going to happen? If Damian's not here, we will ask the first question. And then, obviously, the audience is going to have to penalize him in their voting
because he won't be able to weigh in.
Because he was not here on time.
Okay, I like that. I think that is. I think that's a good strategy. All right, we will wrap up with a couple more on the upcoming debate in about 5 minutes as we wait the arrival of one Damian Mitchell. This text says, "Is the Don Don versus Damian debate going to be a good old WWE loser stays home? And Conrad versus Bama Hater is going to be a good old Southern ass whipping, RTR."
Clean it up, but read what Damian just texted us.
Damian's text, it says, "There ain't no parking out here."
There's so many people here,
but we may have
getting
left
ready for the debate. There's no parking.
Does he understand that you can park under the?
I'm texting.
Let him
try
know,
underneath.
Let him know that he can park underneath.
You know what? Just put the hazards on. We'll text Walt.
Yeah. We'll ask these undercover Homewood police officers downstairs if they would help us out. We're right in front of City Hall.
Pull up next to the barricade where they're doing the waterproofing.
See, Don Don's getting excited because he thinks he's about to get OW.
Oh, yeah, he thinks he's walking into an easy victory here. Jason chiming in on the text line, "This is everyone's chance to hear what every Miami fan sounds like, and I say if Damian loses to Don Don, that Don Don gets to take his place on Mac and Cube for a week."
Oh, wow.
It's a lot on the line.
We'll run that out the flagpole.
Oh, I can't read that one. Someone having some fun with some comments Hugh Freeze made last week about the particular
length and girth
model that you would, the figure that you would want a SEC player to have.
Is your debate going to have girth to it?
Oh, absolutely. I don't know about the length, but it'll be girthy for sure.
All right.
And finally, Jake chimes in. He says, "I really just can't wait to see what Don Don looks like. It'll be a wonderful unveiling to the world here, hopefully in the next 5 minutes."
Yeah, we will probably just have to turn that. Don't you agree? We'll just turn the camera on the because everyone knows what everyone at Jox looks like.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Let everyone see Don Don, and then we can turn it on the crowd.
Yeah. All right. Who's coming up the stairs? No, it's BB.
I'm looking.
Hey, BB, where's Don? I mean, where's Damian? Where's Damian, BB? Oh, there's a lot of concern.
Do I need to go out in the field?
No. We're starting this when we told everyone we're going to start. If he's not here, I mean, if he wants to act like Joe Biden and show up late, kind of aimlessly, then, that's on him.
Someone just texted in, "Doesn't Damian get a handicap tag?"
This is unbelievable.
Oh, I thought that was him. That's somebody else.
It is 12:28, and there's no sign of Damian. Look at Don Don.
This is bad.
He is so excited that he is going to get a forfeit win.
He looks like a cheetah that's
Did he
perched
just
in
call
a
him
tree.
a little big guy? Is that?
Oh, look, she's ready for the flag.
Yeah,
she might be throwing the delay of
BB's about
game.
to throw a flag.
Is he here?
Wait, is he here?
He's here.
Oh, no, there's Bama Hater.
No, it's Bama Hater.
Bama Hater has notes.
Does he really?
He has notes.
That's what I'm talking about.
That is fantastic. This is good.
That's fantastic.
So Bama Hater is
no
here.
No chain for me, Don Don.
But
no chain
Damian
for me.
is not here. We're going to go to break here in about 60 seconds. So we'll give him a little bit of
He's got a little wiggle room.
A little wiggle room. Oh, thanks, Don Don. Don Don's being benevolent. He's giving him 5 minutes. Thank you, Don Don.
Thank you, Don Don.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Just prepare yourself.
Lightning delay. Okay. All right. Well, I was hoping. Wait, who's that coming in?
It's not him.
Who is that? Oh,
not Damian.
No, it's not Damian.
He is late.
Oh, wow. Dave from Hoover throwing
just
some
a
shade.
lot of trash.
I don't
talk.
think Damian knows what he's walking into up here.
Man, this is a hornet's nest up here,
Yeah.
man. These people are beaten into a frenzy.
Our great Jox listeners, I never thought that they'd be this riled up for this debate.
No, this is something else. Everybody is waiting for the appearance of Damian, and I'm looking. I still do not see Damian
Still no Damian.
anywhere.
All right, the great debate of college football hate. Our first matchup will feature Don and one Damian Mitchell. Damian Mitchell is somewhere here on
is
this.
he on
nope,
site?
Here
Is
on
he on
this
property?
square.
Nope.
Is he on property? No.
Still waiting.
We hope to have him joining us. The great debate of college football hate. We do it next live from Social Taco in the Taco Terrace, live on Three-Man Front, right here on Jox.
It is 12:34. Now you see Don on YouTube.
What is happening?
What you say, brother? What you gonna do when Don runs wild on you?
Uh-oh.
Sit down.
Sit down. Oh.
Sit down.
Don offering the hand for a pre-debate handshake, and Damian having none of it, tells him just to sit down.
You're over there.
Yep.
You're over there.
Careful.
Yeah. Watch your shoes. Go over there.
All right. Now we better get this out of the way. Is that mine? Okay.
All right, there we go. Okay. Are you hearing everything okay, Don? Get your microphone. Need a microphone. We're in
Turn it
radio.
on. Turn it on.
Turn it on. You see it right there? On.
Sure.
Wow.
All right.
There you go.
You want to test it real quick?
1, 2, 3.
All right.
All right, can I start say something first? All you little Hulkster out there, make sure you take your vitamins and say your prayers. What you say, brother?
Let's get on with the debate, please.
Oh, come on, man.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
Absolutely.
He's going to have to go over the top rope, man.
Okay. All right. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Here, question number 1. Okay. Bama haters here. Good to see him. All right. What's the prevailing reason why Auburn is currently ranked 70th in recruiting? Who wants to go first?
Me.
Okay, go.
Because everybody else has been cheating because of that rule on August 1st. And once August 1st hit, we did give everybody a bunch of offers like you're supposed to and everything. That was the rule and everything. And we're going to hopefully get the kid on Friday.
Welcome back. It is the great debate of college football hate, live from Social Taco here in Homewood. Landrum Roberts, Damian Mitchell is here, Don is here, Pat Smith, Conrad Van Order. We're going to get the questions started. Pat?
So we asked, this is the question, the first one in this debate. What is the prevailing reason why Auburn Don is currently 70th in recruiting?
Well, number one, we're 57, not 70. On Auburn on 3 anyway. On 3 network, we're 57.
You're still last in the SEC, but go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
Actually, Missouri is.
Okay, go ahead.
But like I said, that house settlement rule, you weren't supposed to give a written offer until August 1st. Once Auburn got to August 1st, and we are behind everybody, I admit, and everything. And yes, I'm saying everybody else did cheat because they weren't supposed to do that. That house settlement had rules, everything, but we are behind. But we only got 11 commitments. Everybody up in the top's got 20 or more. So if you look at the average ranking, Pat, we're like 25th in the average rankings per commitment and everything. So that's
okay. All right, Damian.
All right.
What do you say?
I think it's because of the fact that they paid so much from the recruiting class last year, and also what they've done in the transfer portal. Spending pretty much $1 billion to get Jackson Arnold, who was a head case when he was at Oklahoma. But I think that's where a lot of their money's tied up into, and I guess they're going over quality over quantity of players, because the same people that Don said that these teams are cheating, Auburn was also in a lot of their top 5, top 3. So I guess the money on the opposite end was good, even though I know that Auburn's blessed financially. I just didn't expect Auburn to be this low.
All right, the next question for our debaters. Don, I direct this first to you. What is the ceiling for Auburn, and what is the floor this season?
10 would be my top, and 7 would be my bottom.
10 is the top, 7 is the bottom.
Yes, sir.
Why do you see, a follow-up question, why do you see the ceiling being 10, and why do you see the floor being 7?
Okay, one thing to give Damian credit, he's right about what he said. We have 45 brand-new players on this team, and this is, to me, and Cole Kublik had Jason Caldwell on his show yesterday. We at Auburn think this is the best roster we've had since 2017. Matter of fact, Jason Caldwell he was counting the offensive linemen at practice. When's the last time Auburn had 18 offensive linemen? And to me, this is the best, like I said, the best roster we've had since 2017. I think Singleton and the guy that's not getting enough credit at wide receiver is a kid by the name of Horatio Fields from Wake Forest. And we also got some great freshmen. I really think this team is capable of winning 10 games.
All right, Damian.
May I ask, with those weapons that you have, do you think that you have a quarterback that can solidify them at the ceiling being 10 wins?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
If I had to give my statement, I think
what
I
is
actually
the ceiling for Auburn and what is the floor?
I agree with him as well. I do think the ceiling for Auburn is 10 wins. I do think that Jackson Arnold, talent-wise, you cannot deny. Now, if he's still having some issues mentally, I would look towards the floor with being 6, because again, even with all that talent, if you don't get it done behind Jackson Arnold, what are you going to do? So I think that even last year, you had the best running back in the SEC. You didn't give him the ball. Are we going to get that same production from Damari Alston, Jeremiah Cobb, and Robinson as well? So I just look at the ceiling for Auburn, especially on the offensive side. They can score with anybody, but also if it does not go well, they're going to have to play bully ball, and I don't believe that they're made for that.
All right, question number 3. This one is going to start with Damian. Which rivalry game is more important for Hugh Freeze to win this season? Is it Georgia, Bama, or both?
I would lean the Iron Bowl. It's the state. I think that, for Alabama, when you look at this rivalry, he was close. He was close the last time they were in Jordan-Hare. No, Gravedigger. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about Isaiah Bond, but he was on the receiving end of that play, and he made a bonehead decision there defensively. I think that, getting back into the right swing of things starts with winning the Iron Bowl, because if no matter what, Don has often stated that, Auburn can go 2-8. If that one of those wins is the Iron Bowl, it's a successful season. So I think the Iron Bowl is a more important rivalry.
Okay, you got me on that one, okay. I did say that. I made a mistake last year. very, very one of the dumbest remarks I've ever made, and y'all got me on it, and my board blew up about it and everything, and I made the stupid comment of saying that Auburn would rather beat Alabama than win a national championship, and I'll take that back. But to answer the question, is definitely Alabama. But we haven't beaten Georgia since 17 either, so it's almost both. If I had to answer, okay.
All right. This next question, we'll start with you, Don. What does Auburn have to do in 2025 to be viewed as a legitimate college football playoff contender?
I think it relies on our defense, Landrum. The defensive line is one of the things we're worried about because we're going to be awful young on that line. We got some freshmen that are probably going to play, and you guys both saw this kid from Thompson play, Smith
Jared Smith
and Jordan Crawford from Parker too. But there's a kid in camp that we flipped him from Tennessee. I believe his name's Darian Smith. Remember that name? And you got Riddick and you got Woodward, and there's another freshman at linebacker named Elijah Melendez. I really think this defense is going to surprise people. Really do.
Damian?
I think it's actually getting the offense on board. You look at last season with Peyton Thorne, the inconsistencies that he had offensively as the quarterback. Can you find yourself on the winning end of those plays? The turnovers, that was a key factor. You look at the Oklahoma game. You lost to Oklahoma with a backup quarterback. So defensively, to Don's point, if you have to play that many young guys that have never been in that situation, I think that's more of a red flag than anything. Because to me, offensively, you look at the talent, there's no way Auburn shouldn't be able to score at least 28. You go back to Vanderbilt, they only scored 7 points against Vanderbilt now. Now, we're not talking about them playing Georgia. We're talking about Vanderbilt. They scored 7 points.
Right. That was the game where we let Hunter carry the ball 10 times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Against 7 points against Vanderbilt.
Well, hang on. Can I say something? I knew you were going to throw Peyton Thorne into this discussion. I knew you would. But I want to ask, can I ask him a question? Is Jackson Arnold possibly Peyton Thorne point two?
I don't think so. I think he's actually a talented quarterback. So that's where I kind of I have the discussion right there. He's actually talented.
Now, do you agree that he had nobody to play with for Oklahoma last year with everybody being hurt and no wide
Yeah,
receivers?
absolutely. I do think the circumstances in which Jackson Arnold was thrown into were absolutely awful, but also he was a head case. You go back to the Missouri game, last possession, that tied 23-23, he has a fumble, and they scoop and score.
Well, you know, all of us Auburn fans are going to make the point that he did beat Alabama 24-3, so that's one thing we do like.
Well, he also beat Auburn as well, so but he didn't
play against Auburn,
and that gives you hope that he can actually lead Auburn.
The reason they won that game is because Peyton Thorne with that stupid pick six.
Yeah, and the fact that the quarterback that was benched is now at Auburn is where you think that Auburn could have success.
I do, but okay, on the recruiting end. He was the number one quarterback in the country in 2023, number 13 overall in Gatorade Play of the Year. The kid has talent, but you had a report yesterday, Pat, about him, the coaches not being happy about how long
him holding the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
So, there's red flags, but last year we had Hank Brown and Walker White. In y'all's opinion, guys, how long will you think it'll take if we lose Baylor and start off 3-2? How long do you guys think it'll take to put Deuce Knott?
So are we asking the moderators questions now?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
I didn't know if that was part of.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, this is me and you.
Am I breaking? Well, okay,
this is me and you.
Your opinion.
Again, going back to last year, you didn't have a quarterback in the room, and
not as talented as Deuce Knott. No.
So you want to see the freshman get on the field? Is that what you're saying?
I actually think he's going to play.
So do you believe in Jackson Arnold or not?
I'm 60-40.
Okay. And Ashton Daniels is just there.
He's a third string right now. Yes.
So he's just there. So you're leaning more of a freshman coming in.
He's there for the third quarterbacking. You might have to have a third quarterback. Injuries, okay.
Well, all right. You got to have three. You don't have one.
All right. Final question. As we're running out of time here for this first portion of our debate today. It has to do with what originally came up with the idea of this debate, okay? Here's the question. We're going to let you answer it first, Don, and then we'll wrap it up with Damian. If the season goes south for Auburn, who should be the number one candidate that Auburn targets to take over for Hugh Freeze?
I say Rhett Lashley.
Why?
Well, number one, he's been at Auburn before. And if it's not, yes, he did coach under Malazan. I don't know if he'd want to come back or not. But the second guy would be Kenny Dillingham, who also coached at Auburn.
Interesting.
And hang on, one more thing. This argument started about me saying something about DJ Durkin.
Yeah.
And
you were jumping for joy, but
Well-
how crazy has it changed?
Okay.
In 2 weeks' time.
Well, just to let you know.
No. You were giddy as a lark when they said DJ Durkin. What's DJ Durkin's head coaching record by chance?
Well, I don't know.
He's 11-15, but you're all used to having losers as the head coach because Jim Chiswick was 5-19 when he came in as the head coach, and they had to hire Gus Malzahn. But I don't see Cam Newton walking through that door. I'll tell you that.
Let me finish.
But continue. My apologies.
Okay. On my Auburn Live Show, co-Pinkston, y'all's friend Jeffrey Lee, I asked this question hypothetically to them.
Put the mic up to your mouth.
I asked this question hypothetically to them. They did mention DJ Durkin as a candidate, by the way.
Congratulations. All I'm hearing is all these other names. What does Don think should be? Who does Don think should be the head coach for Auburn if it does go south? That's all it comes down to. You bringing up Kenny Dillingham. Are y'all going to actually let him call the plays? You bring up Rhett Lashley. He's already been there before. Y'all didn't let him have control of the offense.
Neither of which called plays at Auburn.
Boom. So look at that. So you want to retread on the tires when they, quote-unquote, had success, but you brought Hugh Freeze in to fix the offense, and the offense has gotten worse since he's been there. So has the record. I genuinely do not know where you could possibly go. And if DJ Durkin is your go-to, have fun.
He's really not my go-to.
Oh, okay. Well, that changed.
But that was the question.
That changed.
Who's Auburn target?
Rhett Lashley.
Rhett Lashley.
That's my answer.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. We've got a minute or two.
Okay.
We are going to allow, if you would like to quickly ask Don something.
I'll let him go.
Okay.
No, I have no questions. I would love to give my answer on the first person that you should call. If
I'm sorry. I did not. Yeah,
no,
it's
all good. I would say
go
John
ahead.
Summerall. I think John Summerall, the success he's had in the state at lesser programs and the pressure to win is like, hey, it's very evident I know exactly what I'm doing. Very similar to Billy Napier when he came from the Sun Belt to Florida. It's like, hey, I know what to do down here, and he knows the SEC. He knows he's coached Kentucky under some successful coaches, and I think that if everything goes south, he would be the first person I call.
All right. All right. Do you have something for him?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go for it.
On your fandom choice.
Yes.
Are you going to pull for this team more than 1 year?
It's just a year-by-year basis. Depends on how it goes.
Year-by-year basis.
Year-by-year basis.
So if they have a losing record, does that affect your choice?
It could.
Well, in my opinion, you need to pick a team, stick with that team.
I am.
Well, good.
That's
Now,
the whole point of
one
this
thing I
recruiting
do want to
process.
give you credit on.
Mm-hmm.
You stick with the Tennessee Titans. You do that.
Absolutely.
Like I stick with my Chicago Cubs and my Auburn Tigers.
I got you.
Because, I might say some stupid stuff about Auburn, but
May I ask,
they are
what
my
does
team.
this have to do with the debate? Like we're
I
talking
just wanted to
Auburn.
ask you that.
Oh, okay, I got you.
All right. Do you have anything for Don in the
Absolutely
closing
not.
minutes?
Absolutely not.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You got anything else, Lance?
Would you feel more comfortable if Ty Simpson was Auburn's quarterback?
No.
No.
He's thrown 20 passes.
Okay.
It's about as many as Jackson Arnold has, too.
No.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, you're right. He was a 5-star 2023.
Nope. He had good games against Ole Miss and in Alabama. He did.
Did they beat Ole Miss?
11 out against
Did they beat Ole Miss?
No, they didn't, but he did have a good game in it.
But did they win?
Put it this way, he's better than Peyton Thorne.
They covered the over.
That's good. But did they win?
No, they did not.
I got you.
And they lost their bowl game, too.
All right.
They went to one.
So there you have it, the first portion of our the hate debates, as we have coined them here at Social
Well, can I
Taco.
say something about that?
Yeah.
I don't hate him.
I have no hate in my heart.
I took him down to Auburn, for God's sake, and we had a great day that day, okay?
Yeah.
And you're going to Doak Campbell together. You're going
No,
to
we're not. I don't. Where
What?
Where did that rumor go?
Is this breaking news?
No. Time out. Somebody asked me if I was going to drive the van down to Florida State. No.
FSU,
Why
Dave,
would I want to go to that game?
FSU, Dave said you were driving the Winnebago.
No. Why would I want to go to that game? If I went to that game, I'd pull for FSU, Dave, and Florida State. I can tell you that.
Wow.
We thought you wanted to go see
I'm
Gus
going.
again.
I'm going to me and PG, Maria and Constance are going to the Florida State watch party and cheer for Florida State.
But you could go to Doak Campbell.
Why would I want to go to that dump?
They do pressure wash the side of Doak Campbell.
Well, guess what? I got a new jumbotron in my north end zone that I'm proud of. Okay.
All right. There you go.
Well, hey guys, thank y'all very much.
All right. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Damian.
Y'all are great moderators. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right, that is just your appetizer. Coming up next, Bama Hater is in the house. He will take on Conrad Van Order next up here on Jox. Okay, here we go. hour number 4, the final hour of the program. If you just missed what took place, Damian and Don Don, the great debate, the hate debate. We have got it on Twitter right now. We want you, the listener, to go vote. Who won the debate? We will let you vote at our Twitter poll question.
Yeah, at the number 3 man front. You can find it there, and early returns are saying that Damian won.
Okay.
Just a few votes are in.
Okay.
But early returns that Damian beat Don Don in that head-to-head.
Okay. All right.
Felt like he landed a couple haymakers late there that really kind of – that was the difference for Damian.
All right, joining us, and for those watching on YouTube, you can see him on camera in full regalia. It is Bama Hater. That's right. Look at him. Bama Hater wearing the 305.
He's got 3 chains on, man.
Wow.
Man, you looking good, Bama Hater. How are you today?
Hey, man, I can't complain. Good to be here, man. I've been waiting for this for so long. Hey, I know these questions probably been prepared in the back room, but, hey, I have no notes, and I'm prepared, babe. I'm ready to take this
Hey, no
guy
notes
out.
either. We're just going at it.
And this is all honesty. No one outside of myself and Landrum have seen these questions.
Nope.
No one. So we wanted this to be you want to go first this time, or you want me to go? What do you want to do?
I can go.
All right, so here we go. As Landrum will start the questioning.
All right, we will start it with Bama Hater. Bama Hater, if you were advising the College Football Playoff Committee, what's your recommendation on a future format?
My recommendation is if you have a criteria, go by the criteria. We don't need any last-minute surprises and catering to the brand name and, you know, the teams that's going to generate the revenue. If you got a criteria, just go by it. That's my take on it. Just be fair. And my ultimate take is let's stop rewarding teams for losing and wanting to punish teams for actually winning on the field. That's my advice for the committee.
All right, Conrad?
Yeah, I like a lot of what he said. I think in terms of format, I like 5-11, and the idea behind that being that you kind of get to earn it on the field, right? You don't have 4 automatic bids or however many it would be for each of the conferences. And I do agree. If they have a criteria, they absolutely need to stick with it. I think the criteria should weigh strength of schedule over a lot of other metrics, and I don't think that straight up 10 wins in one conference is the equivalent to, 10 wins in another conference necessarily. But I think generally speaking, I like the 5-11 format. Earn it on the field. I agree. You don't need to put teams in because of what their brand name is or anything like that. But I do think that strength of schedule should be weighed more heavily by the committee. And let's be honest, that would favor the SEC and the Big Ten over the ACC.
And can I counter that? Because in one breath he said just because you win 10 games and then he want to turn around and talk about brand name. Why would you not want to reward a team for going 11-1 in the regular season, but then you want a different team from a bigger conference and brand name to possibly get in with 9 wins? That makes no sense to me. So I don't believe in the guaranteed spots for the big guys, and you want to punish the little guys because they earn their way because they're not going to be preseason ranked in the top 10, so they've worked their way up from 20 and below. So those guys should be rewarded for winning 11 games, and those teams that don't get it done on the field that win 9 games, no, they should not be punished in the guaranteed spots. Throw that in 5-13, and we all know that's the trash can.
See, okay, and my counter to that would be how many ranked teams did Miami play last year on their schedule?
We only lost to 2 teams.
But how many ranked teams did you play on your schedule last year?
It just like always, you guys say we play who are on our schedule, right?
That is correct.
Well, we beat 10 teams that were on our schedule. You guys had 3 losses before the Iron Bowl. So
fair.
Whoever made they make the schedule 10, 20 years in advance. You guys lost to the weak teams on your schedule. You didn't lose to the best on your schedule.
Okay, that's fair, but y'all didn't beat anybody that could sniff Georgia's jockstrap last year. So I don't understand what the difference is. You can say what you want about who Alabama lost to last year, but look at who they beat as well. Miami doesn't have the wins that would equate to them getting, I guess, more favor from a committee because they have 10 wins versus Alabama's 9. And the debate, I'm not trying to debate versus Alabama and Miami in that case, but just the state of more wins shouldn't be the determining factor in who gets into a play.
Okay, so this leads great into our next question. The next question is, make a case that your team was the one that was screwed the most in last year's final college football playoff rankings. Conrad, you go first. Why was Alabama left out? Why were they screwed?
Oh, because they had a piss-poor performance against Oklahoma. At the end of the day, I'm not here trying to argue that Alabama necessarily deserved to be in the playoff last year. It's just if we're going to determine who ultimately gets in, it should be based on factors such as strength of schedule. And I think last year, Alabama, their wins and who they had to play throughout the regular season was much tougher than what an SMU or an Indiana had to play in terms of teams that absolutely got in. But I'll be the first person to tell you, I'm not going to sit here and say I have a strong case for Alabama to get in the playoff last year because they didn't deserve to get in the playoff because they lost to Vanderbilt, they lost to Oklahoma in embarrassing fashion. They had a chance to win that Oklahoma game, and they would have been in the playoff. They would have been a shoo-in. But they lost that game. They didn't deserve to be in.
All right, what's your case for Miami? Why should they not have gotten in last year?
Miami didn't get in because of the same reason they wanted to put Alabama in with 9 wins. Politics. You know they're going to pick 2 or 3 loss Alabama over virtually any other team in college sport. Miami had the number 1 offense in the country. The number 1. We had a decent defense. I think we should have gotten into the playoffs simply because we were on the byline in every single playoff poll, not the preseason, not the coaches poll. We were on every single byline for the playoffs, every poll except the last one when we lost to Syracuse. And we suddenly got put behind Alabama, and they were number 8 in every college playoff poll. So, yes, Miami should have been in over Alabama. Easy.
But Alabama did get in, so what does it matter?
No, I'm answering the moderator's question.
Yeah, that was the question was, give the case why your team got screwed, and he's saying because Alabama was getting preferential treatment even ahead of Miami, even though both of them got left out.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Do you think Miami should have been in over SMU or Indiana or one of those 2 teams last year?
I think Miami should have been in because we were 10-2. We were on the byline in every single playoff poll except the last week, and we only had 2 losses.
Okay, should you have been in over an SMU team that had 1 more win than y'all, though? Because by your metric, you should not have been because all that matters is how many games you won.
We shouldn't have been in over SMU because they participated in our conference championship game. I don't think any team should expect preferential treatment because of their name when they didn't even play in their conference championship game, i.e. Alabama and Miami.
Okay. Next question. Gentlemen, the preseason coaches poll is out. Alabama is number 8. Miami is ranked number 10. Which team is overrated the most in the coaches poll? Bama hater, we'll start with you.
No, of course, that's an easy answer for me. It's going to be that team off McFarland Boulevard, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, you got a team that lost 4 total games. 4. They finished 6th in the SEC. They were number 1 in the country. They lost to little old Vanderbilt. They went to Oklahoma and kicked a field goal and lost 24-3. What exactly are they rewarding Alabama for to be number 8 in the preseason poll?
Okay. I think it's fair if you have that. Obviously, I would say that Miami's overrated because I think that what you have to work with at Miami, you have Carson Beck who's coming in, and I think Carson Beck will have a very good season. You already mentioned, you had one of the worst defenses in college football last year. Have y'all done much to address that? You're losing your top receivers. You lost Restrepo. You lost Isaiah Horton, who is now in Tuscaloosa. You lost Damian Martinez, who was your star running back. I like Carson Beck. I think he's going to be a good player. I think y'all are going to have a good season in the ACC. What about that team makes you think that Miami's deserving of a top 10 spot when you have an Alabama team? I'll give you the question mark at quarterback. That's absolutely fair. But you got 7 of the 11 starters coming back on defense. You've got a top 5 wide receiver room in the country. You're stacked at running back. You've got, according to a lot of media outlets, the number 1 offensive line in the country. You can have your question marks about Ty Simpson. I have them as well. But you're looking at a much more well-rounded team in Alabama versus a Miami team that has Carson Beck and a bunch of guys that couldn't stop. You couldn't stop anybody last year on the defensive side of the ball. So why is that going to change this year?
Let me give a brief rebuttal. You brought up the running back room being stacked. What happened last year? You used your quarterback to run the football. That's why you lost games.
Fair point.
Okay. The quarterback is not coming back. You stuck with a quarterback that's no starting experience in the SEC, and you're basing Alabama getting to the playoffs or winning a championship. I don't know what your expectations are, but you're starting the season with a quarterback with 0 starting experience. 0. And that defense you're talking about, most of those guys were the same guys that lost to Vanderbilt and 24-3 to Oklahoma. So what is the expectation other than just blind loyalty?
Well, I mean, I think if you look at the defense, we'll talk about the defense. The last half of last year, the Vanderbilt game, it was bad. Absolutely, we'll give you that. The Oklahoma game, okay, you gave up 24 points. You let the quarterback kind of run on you. You also had your quarterback that gave it to the other team on plus field position 2 consecutive drives out of the second half. So that kind of adds a little bit to what the defense was dealing with. But I think you look at what they did in the second half, they didn't give up more than 24 points to anybody in the second half of the season. It was that Oklahoma game after Vanderbilt. So I think based on that, coming back for another year, it's easy to see why the expectations would be relatively high for what you have on the defensive side of the ball for Alabama.
So let me ask you this question, and we can get to the next question.
Yeah.
If the starting quarterback you guys got this year, if he was at any all, as good as you guys think, why didn't y'all put him in the game when Miro was screwing up? I mean, you blame Miro for every loss. Miro is not there anymore. So why not put him in the game and get him some game time experience?
I think you had a situation last year where you were paying Jalen Milroe a lot of money, and I'll be straight up. I think that last year there were a lot of times where Jalen Milroe, you knew you were kind of playing with fire with him in a game, but he gave you the best opportunity to win because you look at the first half of the Georgia game, look at the entirety of the LSU game. When the game plan worked and it played to his strengths and he was able to go out there and execute, he was still one of the best players in college football. Unfortunately, that was only about half the season. The other half of the season, he was absolutely terrible. And so that's where with Ty Simpson, as we've talked about on the show and I brought up a lot, you need Ty Simpson to be a Jake Coker. You don't need him to be a Bryce Young. You need him to go out there, distribute the football, not turn the ball over, and let all of the other talent around him take care of business. And that's why I think Ty Simpson, he doesn't need to be a Heisman-type guy for Alabama to get back to the playoff.
All right, that leads into our next question about the quarterbacks. Let's play a little game of switcheroo. If you were to switch Alabama and Miami's head coaches and the starting quarterbacks, which school wins the most games in 2025?
That's a good question. I'll still take Alabama. I think with
Carson
Carson
Cristobal and Carson Beck and Tuscaloosa would win more than Ty Simpson and Kalen DeBoer on Miami's roster.
Correct, yeah, because I think the talent that you have as a whole at Alabama, again, and I'll give you this, I think Carson Beck, if we were to do a ranking of quarterbacks in college football, Carson Beck should be significantly higher than Ty Simpson because we've seen what he can do. But, yeah, I think you put Ty Simpson and that Alabama team with what they have around him, Cristobal doesn't really have to do that much. You just roll the ball out there, and Alabama, I think, would be very, very good.
Come on, man. You got to stop it at some point. Listen, man. If you put Carson Beck on Alabama's team, they're probably going to go 11-1, maybe undefeated because he's experienced. He's played in the big games. And you send that guy in Tuscaloosa to Miami, we're probably going to win 4 games. just be honest about it, man. You got to let the Phantom go at some point. 'Cause I wanted to tell you at the beginning, you're in more trouble sitting in front of me than a one-leg man in a butt-kicking contest. I got some souvenirs for the moderators, and I got one for you. I'm going to give it to you early. I'm going to throw you off your game a little bit. I want you to read everything on that bottle, and it reminds you of last season.
Let's see. We got some Bama butt hurt pills. We have number 1. Oh, this is what. Okay, so we have the 40-35 score from Vanderbilt, the 24-3 from Oklahoma. That's nice. I
want to get these guys. This is just an autograph something I ran off. That's a poll from ESPN with the greatest team of all time in college, and it was the 2001 Miami Hurricanes.
Well, thank
and
you
can see how early in that bracket Alabama went out.
So how many of your teams in the last 25 years have been on that sheet?
Hey, it happens. You on year what? 5, 6? Keep counting, baby. Hey, Nick ain't coming back.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
All right, I tell you what, we're gonna run to a quick timeout, and when we come back, we're going to wrap this up. Landrum's got one more question, and then we'll let you guys, if you want to ask each other something before we get ready to close. We'll remind everybody, you need to go vote right now at the Three Man Front Twitter site. We've got the first debate up. You vote. Go vote. Who won the debate? Was it Damian? Was it Don? So go to the Three Man Front Twitter page right now and vote. We'll do the same thing for these guys when we wrap up. More from Social Taco here on Jox. It is 118 right here on Jox, the great debate of hate. Round one, Damian versus Don Don. Right now, it is an absolute butt whipping on the Twitter poll. Damian is absolutely taking Don Don to the proverbial woodshed. We will get the vote out here in about 10 minutes between Conrad and Bama Hater. I refer now to my partner here, the moderator, Landrum Roberts.
Yeah, we appreciate all the folks in attendance here at Social Taco today. Our regular Jox family who's attending. We got some new folks as well. John, who is from the great state of Colorado, listens to us on the app, stopping by, and his buddy Cooper as well. We appreciate all of your support in making this thing happen every single day. We continue our debate with Bama Hater and Crimson Conrad here on the program. We go to the next question. Conrad, you will begin.
Okay.
Which program has had the more dominant dynasty? Alabama under Nick Saban or Miami in the 1980s and early 2000s?
Oh, I mean, it's no. I mean, Alabama with 6 national championships in the Nick Saban era. Do you have 6, Bama Hater? Like, am I getting the number wrong at this? I don't understand. All that matters is how many games you win, but now the amount of national championships you win doesn't determine who has the better dynasty. I'm confused on what. I am curious in what your rebuttal to that is.
It's not necessarily a rebuttal. Let me give you my take though.
Yeah.
I commend Nick. Nick did an outstanding job at Alabama. Now that may be the first time you hear me give y'all some glory.
That is the first time.
Let me give you some history on my team.
Yeah.
In a 20-year span, now you can look it up. This is a 20-year span. Miami played in 10 national championships. In 20 years, we won half of them.
Is that 6?
Wait. We were winning championships like every other year, 83, 87, 89, 91, 01. You know we got cheated in 02, so that was back-to-back.
Yes, you did.
So, and I just gave these guys a runoff of the greatest team of all time and voted by ESPN and a whole lot of others. Miami Hurricanes 2001 team, the greatest of all time. So with all those allegedly paid for and bought Dodge Chargers and Challengers they used to get Bama players with down there in Tuscaloosa, you still didn't do what we did, baby. And one more thing before I let you one more thing. Why is it with all those 5-stars, number 1 recruiting classes, for some reason you guys can't break our first-round record of drafts in the NFL draft? Why is that?
I'll give you that one.
You don't have to give it to me. We earned it. See, we're not Alabama. We don't want anything given. We earned that, baby.
So how many national championships was that in the 80s and 90s?
I'm about to answer that. Miami has 5. Guess what? We earned every one of them on the field. Alabama has more political championships than the Republicans and Democrats.
And what evidence do you have to back that up other than your hatred for Alabama?
I tell you what.
You haven't said a single fact this entire conversation. It's all you hate Alabama.
I didn't give you
and
no
it's all
fact.
good.
Now the venom.
What?
I'll give you the fact. You had the fact about the draft picks. I'll give you that.
All
But
right.
other than that, it's all from
let
your
me ask
gut,
you a
man.
question. One question.
Yeah.
If Alabama has 18 national championships, name me the coach for every game national championship they won.
Okay, that's fair. I cannot do that.
I know you can't because you don't have 18 championships. It's easy.
I cannot go back 100 years. I will give you that. Absolutely.
And before Alabama wins 8 or 9 games this year, and you get your commissioner out there begging for a playoff spot like last year, let me give you some more history on Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that the first game that the Alabama Crimson Tide played was against some high school students? Okay. They had to piece a team together from different high school students around Birmingham. They played at a place called Lakeview Park in Birmingham. They beat those poor old high school students 50-60-0. So I can understand now why you guys complain about the strength of schedule and came back in 2025 and put Eastern Illinois on the schedule to strengthen your schedule. I told you didn't want none of this smoke when I came up here. You should have wore a gas mask.
Dude, you're bringing up the first game in Alabama history. What the hell does that have to do with anything right now?
You know why I'm bringing it up? This is exactly why I'm bringing it up. Because you guys say you have 18 championships, but you don't want to acknowledge who really has the most, which is Yale or Princeton, which one of the two. You don't want to acknowledge that, but guess what? You were playing back in the 1800s as well, right?
Okay.
So why don't you have the most championships?
So are you a Yale fan, a Princeton fan, or a Miami fan?
I'm a Miami.
Let's get back to the question. No, how many national championships did y'all win in your dynasty? Because it's less than Alabama. That's the whole question,
man.
We
won 5, but I'm going to answer your question. I'm a Miami Hurricane fan and any team that plays Alabama.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
So that is all the listed questions we have. So we're going to give an opportunity. Conrad, if you have something you would like to ask Bama Hater, you can ask Conrad, and that's how we'll wrap this up.
And this is a personal question, and if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. My question is just why? What happened to you as a child from Alabama football that caused you to be the way that you are? I genuinely want to know. And if it's just true hatred, that's perfectly fine. But I have never met somebody that speaks with so much blind hatred without bringing any evidence to an argument than you. And I want to know why you feel that way inside every day when you wake up. That you hate Alabama so much that you hate them more than your own program that you love more than anything, allegedly.
All right, everybody clear your ears out. I'm about to give you the number one answer.
Yeah. Let me know.
This is why. It's not the Alabama program. It's the Alabama fans. You know why? It's because this is why. And I'm going to give you case in point in 2024.
Okay.
You jumped up and down like a cheerleader that just got on the squad at Alabama when you beat Georgia. But you hid in the witness protection program when you lost to Vanderbilt, and you went down to Oklahoma and you kicked a one field goal, and you were number 4 in the country. Now, did Alabama or the teams that were behind Alabama in those rankings in the preseason, did they get shunned after ranking Alabama number 1 and you lose to Vanderbilt? I don't like Alabama because of that fact right there. You never give the other team credit for winning, but you want all the praise when you win. So when you win with class. Do the same thing when you lose with class. That's why I don't like Alabama.
So Miami wins with class.
Yeah.
That's what all your chains say right now?
I don't know what they say. They look good, though, don't they?
That's more about style.
And another reason about the Bama fans, when you tell the truth about their team, they're going to get upset. They want to call you names. You don't know anything about football. You don't have any facts. I can see you getting mad at me right now, baby. I'm just bringing facts. I'm having fun. This is fun to me. When I hear, I'm in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my friends are Bama fans. My daughter is an Alabama fan. That's the only thing wrong with her. But look, I'm in the middle of all you guys. So when I hear, when you win and you can't win with class, and when you lose, you can't lose with class. So it's got to be one or the other, baby. You got to win with class, lose with class.
I will say this. This will be my last thing, and then I'm good if you're good. I do not agree with a lot of your takes, but the fact that you stick to your guns and you feel a certain type of way about something, I have to respect that.
I'm one of those guys, man. I don't dance to music I don't like, and I never call you guys with talking points. I always debate the talking points because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to have a difference of opinion. But
absolutely.
America is based on that, man. Just because our opinions differ, we still should be cool with each other.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, when we leave each other, you still going to have your opinion, I'm still going to have mine.
That's right.
Absolutely. We should salute Don shirt right now.
Yeah.
That's right.
He asked you a question. Do you have anything else you would like to ask Conrad in the remaining moments?
Yeah, I got one question. I want you guys to be honest with me.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something negative about Alabama, would you own up to it? Would you admit it on air? Or would you try to continue to cover it up like you usually do?
That just tells me you don't listen to the show, man, because I'm more critical of Alabama than anybody on this station.
Man,
I am.
Hey, man,
100% I'm the most critical of Alabama.
Hey, let me
you cannot debate that.
You remember when Nick left?
I do.
You remember when Vanderbilt beat Alabama?
Yes, I do.
I got the same treatment when I called in. They didn't answer the phone. They wouldn't put me on air. When Vanderbilt beat Alabama, it was 3 or 4 days before you guys let me talk. You got to be fair, man. When you win, you let me right on. But when you lose, we don't want Bama hater talking. I'm going to be the same Bama hater win, lose, or draw, baby.
Fair enough. There you go. Well, gentlemen, that was great.
That was great.
That was good. That was good football talk right there between these two individuals. Okay.
Good stuff, Bama hater.
We will have the poll up, and, of course, the poll's going to go for about 12 hours. So you'll be able to vote on the Damian versus Don results and as well as Bama hater and Conrad. We're back for the final 30 minutes. We're live at Social Taco on Jox. right, it's 1:31. Welcome back to Social Taco. This is Three-Man Front on Jox, and this is why Birmingham and the state of Alabama is the #1 college football market in the world, is because we were able to bring people together, have an open debate on college football, and there were no fisticuffs.
Nope. I love it.
It was great.
Yep.
We appreciate Don and Damian, of course, Bama Hater and Conrad being a part of the college football discussion. And you can go vote. Go to the Three-Man Front Twitter page and give us the results. It's going to be up until right before the show tomorrow morning. So we'll get a full, interesting take by our listeners on who won the debates today.
Who needs a documentary? This was a great tune-up for the college football season.
Yep.
Period. Another great tune-up for the college football season. How about our friends at Mandu right behind us through the parking lot? Mandu is located conveniently in downtown Homewood. You can check it out. It's electrical muscle stimulation fitness. It's FDA approved. It's safe. I've used it. Damian Mitchell's used it. So many Jox listeners have used it. Basically, it's electric pulses that they're going to put you in a suit, hook you up to a machine. Those electric pulses go into different muscle groups. 15-minute workout. 15 minutes. That's it. No more, no less. 15 minutes, the equivalent to 6 hours in a gym. Mandu in downtown Homewood. Check it out. You're going to get results. I guarantee it. MANDUU.com. Tell Paul and the gang that Landrum from Jox sent you.
All right, so a brief update on the voting as we speak. Right now, Damian won 78% to 22%. And this just posted just moments ago right now, Conrad is at 73% with the victory. Bama Hater at 27%. So it's very early in the Twitter poll voting that's going on.
We do have some folks that are chiming in on the text line, and we're getting some mixed responses there, which I think is always very interesting. 205-834-9450. Jamie says Conrad destroyed him. Bobby chimes in and says, gotta give it to Bama Hater. In my opinion, he won that debate by far because he did, in fact, bring some facts.
I don't remember him answering any of my questions about Miami football, though. Particularly revolving around this year's team.
TKO win for Bama Hater. Proved Conrad doesn't know Bama history, coaches in parentheses, and obliterated him on current stacked running back room, parentheses, that room sucked last season. Okay. Jason says Crocs and Wrangler have officially dropped Don. All right, Conrad. This one says Conrad bent him over and spanked him with all the facts.
Oh, boy.
Another coming in. Bama Hater got destroyed. Also proves once again that nobody cares more about Bama's national championships than rival fans, the only people who bring up the 1800s.
I'll give it to Bama Hater. I thought he did make some good points, and I thought he kept his, his blind hatred to a minimum. But it didn't do him any favors when he was trying to argue that Miami had won more national championships in their dynasty than Alabama, when it was a simple case of math that he wasn't willing to recognize. I think that hurt him.
Drake, a big Florida fan, chimes in and says, Conrad, you my guy, but I got to give it to the king. Scott says Damian beat poor Don. Bama Hater whipped old Conrad. All right. Tim says Conrad destroyed Bama Hater. It wasn't even close.
I love how back and forth it is.
Someone asked, it is. Someone asking, did Don even show up? Love Bama Hater, but he is a broken record. One that wants to get political. We're probably not going to roll with that one. Brandon says Bama fans will always win y'all's polls, but not our hearts. Mark in Homewood says if Hater is adding 2001 to the 80s dynasty, we're adding 1992. That's 7 championships. Conrad cleaned his clock.
Oh, it's starting to come down a little bit. Bama Hater getting a little bit more love on the Twitter poll.
Responses to Bama Hater's response, and this one says, I know a Miami fan didn't mention the word class.
Well, that was the comical part of him talking about winning with class while he's here wearing a jersey with gigantic fake gold chains on.
I'm just reading them. This one from Montgomery. He whipped your ass, little lug nut.
Is that talking about me? I've never been called little lug nut before. That's a new one.
I guess that goes back to the tire change.
I'm guessing so,
my
yeah.
goodness.
I kind of like that. That's creative, at least.
Little lug nut.
Ryan says, Bama hater brought up winning with class. Miami was such a classy program in the 80s and 90s, laughing, crying emoji. CJ, Bama hater, always talks about Bama's schedule, but every year Miami plays either Bethune-Cookman or Florida A&M. This one says, hater did come out swinging, but way to stay collective. Bama hater's argument was completely invalid once he brought up class. Miami is the least classy program ever. We're getting a lot of responses to the class comment.
Okay.
I like Bama haters' honesty, but it's the same old story every time. I think it was close, but his hatred made him lose, in my opinion.
And I will give first off, I will give Bama hater credit, right? Do I know who won every single game for Alabama football in 1933? I absolutely do not. And if that means that I'm not an Alabama fan in your eyes, then that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to sit here and act like that's what I go back and do, but and I'll give him. He got me on that one. Now, could he go back and name that for Miami? Probably not, but I will give him that one.
Follow-up to Little Lugnut. That will be Conrad's DJ name when he hosts an overnight gangster rap show. Another listener says Conrad schooled him with facts. Jody asking, I want to know what the two commentators thought about Bama hater and Conrad.
See, Pat wants to say that he won the debate, and that's fine.
Will, thanks for texting in. Closer with Bama hater than the
I don't know why
experts
Pat
thought.
won't just say it.
Conrad
He's looking at me
wins
right
by
now.
single digits. Wallace Wade and Frank Thomas. Jay throwing out there. Damian should be embarrassed.
Wow.
That's from Lucky.
Uh-oh.
What do I need to be embarrassed about? Was it a poor show? Did I not do well? Well, I mean, y'all were moderators, so y'all can't.
No, I'm not going to comment on.
Understandable.
As of right now, the Twitter folks believe at 78% clip that you beat Don Don.
Okay. I felt it. I think I had a good start. I looked at it like a boxing match. It was like I got a couple jabs in there early. I don't think I necessarily landed a knockout blow, but I think I won by points. I think I scored a pretty good point.
It's interesting because Bama haters now up to 34%. I mean, this was in the low 20s. So the tide is turning. No pun intended. Sorry, Conrad. But the folks are starting to really feel that Bama hater did a really good job against you.
It was as a fan, it was a great debate. It really was.
I thought it was a good conversation.
It was.
It
I
didn't
think,
feel one-sided.
No. I think Conrad presented facts, and Bama hater did a good job.
So who won?
Oh, you want my personal opinion?
Well, that's why I asked.
Conrad.
Okay.
See, Pat thinks Bama hater won, but he won't say it to my face.
I didn't say that.
You are a politician, man. You wear it well. So you think Conrad lost that? Was it the passion in Bama hater's voice?
Listen, I'm the one that wrote the playbook on the Pat Smith-isms, and you trying to pull a Pat Smith on me ain't gonna work.
No, but that was fun. I ain't gonna lie. Like that was fun.
It was a good conversation.
It was a great conversation.
Oh,
It
yeah.
really was.
Talking ball, man.
That's all.
That's right.
That's all.
I still want him to say it to my face, but I'm
Yeah.
sure I'll get that
Go ahead,
later.
Pat.
It's fine.
People at home couldn't see it, but I love the Houndstooth blazer.
That was good.
Nice
Where did you
touch.
get
Shout
that?
out to Hastings.
Hastings brought you
Shout
the.
out to Hastings.
Way to go, man.
There to go, Hastings.
Yeah.
Out here saving the day.
That's a good look. That was a good look.
Yeah.
Landry,
that
what
off.
were
It was
your
hot,
opinions
but it was nice.
on the debate?
We're moderators, man. We can't tell you that.
Did you enjoy it though? Did
I
you
did.
enjoy it?
No, it was great.
Actually, I will say this: it went a lot better than I thought it would.
Gotcha.
I was hoping for a little bit more nastiness. Just to be honest with you.
Well, y'all asked for professionalism, and I tried my best.
I know, but I asked that. But,
Yeah.
Fully expecting you to show your arse.
No,
And you did.
That's for the after-hour show.
No, and that shows growth and maturity.
Exactly.
And
Well,
we appreciate that.
Before I turned 25, probably would have got a little interesting, but no, I think that Don was a great opponent. And girth, absolutely.
See, now Bama haters on the text line taking shots at my shoes now.
Bama hater in real time now texting apparently from the parking lot. Real football fans in the state of Alabama knows Con Man got destroyed. The polls are dominated by Bama fans, and the moderators may tell you the truth in private. I wanted to mention the oversized shoes, but it was irrelevant and too easy.
Hey, Bama hater, listen, man.
It was too easy.
Hey, listen, we were in Atlanta, walking in downtown Atlanta, and people on the street were making fun of Conrad's shoes. I'm not making that up.
Haters.
Not making that
And
up.
guess what? I'm going to keep on wearing them.
One man asked if he could live in one of them.
I was trying to get some people to try them on for themselves, but they didn't want to. It's like, no, try it on. It's super comfortable, but they passed on that.
Okay, Tanner says Damian didn't say anything factual. It was all opinion-based commentary from him. At least Don came with facts and stats.
Wow.
Was Jackson Arnold not benched at Oklahoma?
Was.
Did Auburn not lose to Oklahoma?
They did.
To Don's point, didn't Oklahoma also lose to Ole Miss when Jackson Arnold was at quarterback, correct? I don't think I had any opinions. I kept everything. The only opinion question you gave us was who would you have as coach?
Yeah.
Sorry, Tanner. I really do apologize. I wasn't trying to come off as a know-it-all. I thought I was delivering facts, and I kept it very professional.
Come on, Damian, you're better than that.
I know. See what happens when I take the high road? Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. I got to go full heel.
I certainly didn't.
Well, you're normally on the low road, but.
Yeah, man. The dirt road.
People are really gravitating to the new name, Lugnuts.
They like it.
Lil Lugnuts. That's going to be my DJ name when I do a hip-hop radio.
Somebody said Little Lugnuts got his arse whooped.
Little Lugnuts.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Oh, gosh.
I like this. I like how there seems to be a lot of back and forth in terms of, like, I've had people tweet me the exact same GIF. One person telling me I got my ass kicked, and one telling me that I kicked Bama haters. Like, it's just.
No,
I like it.
That's the fun part about
should
the
be that
debates.
way.
Yeah, that's exactly how it's supposed to be.
You know, the one stat I thought you were going to bring up and you didn't,
What's
I think this is the stat. I think Alabama and Miami's played 17 times, and Alabama's beaten them 14.
See, I'm not even
head-to-head.
trying to go into that because that was his whole thing with, well, look at who was ranked the best team of all time. Why are we talking about a team from 24 years ago? If that's the best thing you have to say about your program, then that kind of says everything we need to know about them right now. If you got to go back 2+ decades. So I wasn't going to get into all that stuff because that's not a fair game. Yeah.
Thomas does make a fair point. He says, I think Don did a great job trying to defend Auburn, which is tougher position to debate.
It is.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is. And that's why I took the high road. I was like, well, you know what? After everything that happened last season, the past couple seasons, he still stands firm, still stands true. And I couldn't knock him for it. I was just like, okay, this is how I think about it.
Jamie says, all jokes aside, Conrad and Damian have come a long way. They're both well-rounded commentators and sports analysts.
Hear, hear.
Well, thank you, Jamie. We'll have to pay you $20 to text that in. Thank you.
Jonathan says, little lug nuts for the win. That has caught on.
I like it.
That was the first T-ball team I coached.
The lug nuts?
Yeah, we got the minor league. We got the minor league names.
That's just going to be a tough one to explain.
No, we would. Our breakdown on 3 was let's go nuts. 5- and 6-year-olds loved it.
Oh, I bet they
Absolutely.
Oh, I bet.
They loved it. We were good.
That's awesome.
All right, thanks for the text. Appreciate all of you as we will put a big bow on it.
Yeah, quickly, a little bit of news. If you were following this yesterday, we told you that the athletics director at Louisiana Monroe, he stepped down immediately, and there was not an interim named yesterday? Well, according to multiple sources, Bryant Vincent, the former head coach at UAB and the current head coach at Louisiana Monroe, he is going to be named the interim athletics director at Louisiana Monroe.
Heck yeah, y'all want basketball tickets? Let's go.
So the Warhawks.
Bryant
Vincent.
hookup.
Yep.
Tennis, racquetball. What you guys want? We'll call our buddy.
You mean they charge for Louisiana Monroe racquetball tickets?
I don't know. I would.
Why not?
Make it to where we can join in and play. When's the last time you played racquetball?
It's been years.
Man, it's been years for me,
Probably
too.
college. Yeah.
It was fun. It was great every morning.
All right, we will wrap things up from Social Taco. This is Three-Man Front on Jox. Always appreciate the fine folks joining us here at Social Taco in Homewood. We're here each and every Tuesday from 10 until 2 o'clock. It's been a great day. We appreciate Mike Griffith joining the program in the 10 o'clock hour. We also talked to Ronnie Sanders, who is the publisher of Auburn Undercover. He announced a brand new podcast, The Terry Bowden Show, the former Auburn head football coach. He'll be hosting a podcast with Ronnie Sanders. You heard Don and Damian at 12:30. You also heard Bama Hader and Conrad at 1 o'clock. So it's been a great day. You can always download the Three-Man Front podcast and consume that at your leisure.
Well, celebrate the kickoff to college football with us at the Bill Smith Buick GMC Jox Kickoff Party at Regions Field on Thursday, August 21st. and the only way to go is by winning tickets. So to win a pair of tickets for you and a guest, text the keyword Blazers and your full name to 205-834-9450. That's the keyword Blazers and your full name to 205-834-9450. Winners are drawn and notified daily, and for more information, go and visit joxfm.com.
All right, so right now Damian is up to 79% according to the vote in regards to being victorious over Don Don. Meanwhile, it's now kind of leveled out a little bit. Bama Hater got up to about 33% of the vote. He's now down to 31%. Conrad at 69%. Bama Hater at 31%.
We're still waiting, though, Pat, on Dade and Broward counties.
Yep, they're always
those
late.
Precincts to come in a little bit later voting historically. No, but all things considered, in all seriousness, I thought that went over pretty well. Hopefully our listeners enjoyed it.
See, I hope it was entertaining radio. You got good conversation, whether you think I won or Bama Hater won or Damian won or Don Don won. I just hope you enjoyed the conversation. This is what football season's about.
Yeah, the beautiful thing is you had 4 people that are passionate about their opinion and passionate about college football. And so whether you agree or disagree, you have to give them all thumbs up for their participation and what they represented. So.
That's right. No, I thought that everybody kept a pretty cool head. Felt like Conrad got a little bit riled up there towards the end.
Oh, I got a little heated.
Yeah. But
well, it's hard to, when you're debating somebody that only goes to the history and won't answer the questions you ask them directly. And
will you now memorize the Alabama head coaches and the championships they won and the years they won them?
No.
Okay. See?
No. I don't think anybody cares about my opinion on a 1934 Alabama football program, but I could be wrong.
You never know.
Maybe that's what everyone wants to hear.
Well, and a lot of people forget. I mean, there's plenty of schools, it's just not Alabama, that they claim a lot of national championships that you probably look at now and go, you know what? That's kind of really interesting. There's also been some modern-day situations where a lot of people forget that a lot of times the national championship votes were done before the bowl games.
Yep. Which is insane.
Yeah. So, I mean, the way things used to be done back in the day, and it's kind of like now. There's not like a universal belief on how you go about crowning a champion. Yeah, we have a college football playoff, but that's obviously open to debate based on the selection committee. So it's not just Alabama. I mean,
well, you had how many different publications back in the day that would award national championships? It's not like now where you have one.
Yeah.
To whoever wins the tournament.
Yeah. I mean, again, you had multiple national championships where United Press International, they gave a national championship out. The AP gave one out. Then the UPI was they were replaced by the coaches poll when that came out, when USA Today came into existence. And then, of course, we all know we had the BCS and the CFP now. So it's been all over the place. Kind of like the debate today. And it will rage on.
Is this a replay of Miami beating the Yankees?
Somebody brought this up earlier. They said, look, the Yankees are winning. And I said, oh, just hold on until the end of the game.
Well, it is. Let's watch together.
No, let's not. Yeah, so we traded for a relief pitcher last week. Already had to demote him to AAA today.
Nice.
That's all right.
That's the state of the franchise.
So now I've got FSU Dave walking around asking for a driver to go to Tallahassee now that Don Don's not going to go.
We appreciate all of you joining us today. Anything you missed, you can find it there at joxfm.com and the 3-Man Front podcast for Molly Robinson, Bama Hater, Damian, Conrad, Pat. I'm Landrum. Thanks for joining us. God is great. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. So long.